Yo, what is up, people? What is up, people? What is up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with your other host, Project Storm. Storm, how you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Mic check, 1, 2. Got to do the check. All right. But I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm just testing the audio back right now. Everything sounds good on my end as I watch the live stream, man. I think we're ready to kick off, bro. I think
All
we're ready.
right. I think the people are ready too, man. So let's do the daggone thing, man. But first and foremost, let's shout out the people, the early birds, because a lot of y'all been sitting here waiting for today's episode and we couldn't wait to get it to you. We got my homie. Now, this is my homie. We got my homie MK. Hey, yo, MK, what you must have saw your boy out on Twitch again, man. Now, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you must have saw your boy out on Twitch. Appreciate you coming through, man. Long time no see. We got the hater extraordinaire, Amunar
North,
in the house. He
but
says
he's
hello.
also the bro at the same time.
Absolutely. He says hello. I haven't been here for a while. Just wanted to know if Stadia is finally dead.
We'll let you know. We'll let you
We'll
know
let you
for
know.
sure.
You know what
Every
I'm
show,
saying?
you know how we do every show.
Who else we got in the house? Who else we got in the house? I ain't messing with you. We got the homie Project Storm in here. We ready to do
That's
this.
right.
Ron Slusher in the house. Yo. G Millie says top. That Victor Del with his crazy blind. Victor Del Maestro. Hiya. And we got Aminar dropping with the $5 spot. Thank you so much for the support. Says, good morning, gentlemen. What do you guys think about California and other states banning high-end PCs? What does this mean for Storm?
I'm gonna get into
What?
it a little bit. I can answer it. I want to answer it right now before we even get into this.
Yeah, let's get it. I didn't even hear about that, bro. What's going on with that?
All right. So basically, it's like this thing that's still being deciphered right now, man. Where it's not gonna really like. Okay, so there's certain criteria that needs to be met for certain PCs. So if you have like a high-end, newer PC with a 3080 in it and all that, latest processor and all that stuff, then it's probably gonna pass inspection, so to speak, and you're gonna be able to purchase that. But what they're trying to do is cut down on all the extra, the frivolous usage where people get up and walk away from their PCs, or I guess like I don't know. I guess it would be in like mining and stuff like that. Anything like that would be included where these units are just running. The systems are just running, just using energy and whatever the case is. I think it all comes down to that. But there are some situations where you will be able to still purchase gaming PCs, but man, it sounds like they're just trying.
Bro.
You know how California is really clean. Like
yeah.
I remember buying a subwoofer for my home theater, and it was what the hell? All you Californians, help us out, man. Y'all know what we're talking about. Help us out in the chat. But they have these stringent guidelines as to what like the product needs to have a specific label, and I forget what they're called and why. But it's kind of like in line with that, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I could be off, I could be wrong, but I know that's what what he's referring to, what Aminor is referring to. But that, I mean, it is crazy, but at the same time, I think what they're trying to do is make sure that the planet is safe, man. Can't be mad at him, but at the same time, it's something to keep an eye on. Because it's not just California, it's going to be like this coalition. Hawaii, California. Somewhere on the East Coast, New England or something like that is in there. I don't know how, but they are, and some other couple other states out there, man.
You know what? Let's do this. A shout out to the brother. Aminar is dropping jewels today, and we have topics to talk about and a lot of things to talk about, but I think we can squeeze this in possibly. So I'm going to add this to the docket when we get to our we got a hardware talk session. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, this is wow.
Important, man.
High-end people. I'm gonna put it high. Yeah, I just found the article.
YouTubers are talking about it. Everybody's really talking about it out there, so it's not hard to find, man. I'm gonna have to do my research myself.
Don't get on me now. I'm dropping a link to the article in here. Don't get on my writing here. I know you can see me adding it to the notes. That's crazy, bro. Because hey, Storm. You know what I'm thinking. Now I'm gonna say this real quick. Storm, before we
say that, let me get this super chat real quick from Marcus G Knight, man. Before you even get into that, man. MM2K, Storm, guys. I know this takes a lot of research, time, and dedication to come out here all the time and keep it fresh. Keep it up. Hey, y'all have no idea, man. Let me tell you something real quick. I'm gonna hijack the show for like 2 seconds. Revolutionary Storm, y'all. The next episode, which should be episode 11, if I'm not mistaken, man. I could be wrong, or 12. Hey, Rev, help me out, Rev, if you're out here, man. Which episode is it? Drop it for the people because we're moving so fast, man. I know we hit episode 10 already. Then we went to Rev's channel for 11, so it's going to be 12 coming back to me. Yo, tomorrow, right here on my channel. I mean, on the Project Storm channel, y'all. You want to be around when we get ready to drop this show tomorrow because we found some, oh, man, it's just like it's like a nuke, man. It's like a nuke. And it's information that was right in front of our faces regarding the business model and all that good stuff, man. It has a lot to do with where Google is right now with the 85-15 split and the 70-30 and all that stuff and 2023 and all. Man, it might have something to do with all that. So make sure you're tuned in tomorrow. I'm going to drop a link at some point during the show before we wrap up, y'all. But you want to be there tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. MM2K, I'm sorry, I had to hijack, bro.
Well,
because
no,
I didn't want to forget that as we get like Amanor and out here dropping news. Marcus G. Knight dropping Superman. I can't keep up.
No. I let you go and I didn't say anything. I took a sip of my tea. Only because great minds think alike. I was just about to say, before we went live, we was talking about something very similar to the whole PC.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, great minds thinking like, y'all, we're saving that for the Revolutionary Storm tomorrow. There is some big time, I consider it big time, some big time juicy information. You know how my bro Project Storm be in the trenches. Some big time juicy stuff in regards to not only the business model, but Stadia's blueprint.
Oh,
like remember the Maj Bakar interview, Storm, where we was like, look, all this is out here.
Yes,
there's even more. You won't believe it.
And it was right in front of our face the whole time.
Right in front of our faces.
As people were racking their brains and all that stuff, right? Remember how, MM2K, you know how we said all the time, man. Stadia Revolution will say, do your research, man. You'll say, do your due diligence and all that stuff. And I'll just say, hey, look, man, it's out there. It'll smack you in the face. Like the truth will smack you in the face if you want to find it. So all of this right here is something to pay attention to, y'all, because we have continue to find. And it's funny how we continue to find this stuff and we can stumble across it, but other people can't seem to find it, like some of the haters, man. Speaking of the haters, a hater hit me back in the comment section. We'll be talking about that at some point during the show, but I want to follow MM2K's lead because it's not my channel this week, y'all. I'm not going to take over.
But what I do want to say is in regards to the Revolutionary Storm podcast tomorrow, always check it out. But definitely, you're going to want to watch this episode tomorrow. Dare I say, you're going to get a great show today because we got a lot of great things to talk about. But I'm going to say that tomorrow's show is going to be even bigger. Because this thing that we're going to touch on, this whole power consumption thing, but it just shows you, wait, clip this. I want somebody to clip this. It shows you, especially good people like my good friend Victor Del Maestro in the chat. Vic, and me and Vic, sometimes our thoughts are like oil and water. We no, but Vic is a great supporter, been a big supporter of the platform since day one. But sometimes our thought processes are like oil and water. I love Phil Harrison. I don't think Vic feels the same love that I do for Phil Harrison. But
gets down with Phil, man.
But when you see this information that Storm and Rev are going to drop on you tomorrow, particularly a certain portion, and you jive it up, Vic, against this PC thing, that's a big thing, it's going to blow your mind and it's going to show you how much of a visionary this guy actually is. Like, for instance, everybody was like, oh no, cloud gaming ain't going nowhere. People ain't going to have the internet to do it. Boom. All of a sudden, U.S. Congress is about to drop a bill where they drop $2 billion where they're going to give internet to everybody. Oh man, people aren't going to be able to enjoy it or whatever. Everybody's going to get high-end consoles and PCs, and they're not. And cloud is going to be forgotten. It's not going to grow. What happened? There's a chip shortage. Oh my God, California and 5 other states, they're now going to ban high-end PCs. And wait till you see what Phil said about this years in advance. I'm going to say several. I'm going to shut the hell up because I'm at the cusp of where I might give out too much. But check out Revolutionary Storm tomorrow. Stadia Rev, the notorious REV, my good brother Project Storm. It's gonna blow your mind. This is giving me goosebumps thinking about this, man. Brother Phil Harrison, he's a visionary. Go ahead, brother.
Phil Harrison basically said, I'm gonna let y'all know how, and this is not to start a war because people saw 10.7 teraflops and said, oh, Stadia's taking shots at consoles right now. I think Stadia, and then we talked about it. We're not gonna get too deep into it, man, but I take that as this is how this should let you all know what type of level you're going to be able to play when you cloud game with Stadia. You know what I'm saying? That's what that whole that message was to me with the 10.7 teraflops and more powerful than the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X combined and all that stuff. I think that's where they were headed with that. But this right here, woo! I stumbled across something else. Woo! Me and Rev are going to be breaking it down. Rev don't even really know about it yet unless he's really read the whole article. But that's all right because I got a couple articles. You know what I'm saying? Man. It's not just one, man. The news, I told you, it slaps you in the face, man.
Wow.
Like when you're out here doing what we do on a weekly basis, man, like just trying to give people the facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the facts that are coming from, like, their quotes that's coming right from Stadia themselves, man.
I might have to change the title.
Hey, listen, man. They go into listen. I'm just gonna give y'all a little preview, man. What are y'all talking about? Y'all trying to get us up in there and to watch the?
No, hold it, Storm. I'm telling you, bro.
Bro, man, they got a whole lot of things up in here, and they were talking Crackdown and Xbox, man, M2K, hey, stuff that we talk about every week. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Every week, and this is from our own minds, bro. This is just the gamers that we are, knowing what we know. It's just us really connecting the dots. But they're backing what we say on our shows every week, bro.
It's crazy, I gotta change the title. This is crazy.
Let's go.
But this is what happens when this is the pedigree, and I'm not, I'm just part of the pie. But this is the pedigree with PNTS Network. We got a lot more coming. We're gonna have we got some great stuff coming as far as news and things like that. But this is the pedigree that you're dealing with. People that dig deep to find stuff that's really overlooked. Not stuff that people thought was overlooked, but we've already discussed and fleshed out. Shout out to Sunny Cloud Gaming, by the way. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Sunny Cloud Gaming, killing it.
Today with a big giveaway of, unless something changed, he's going to be doing a big giveaway with a lot of codes for Tokyo Olympic. What's the game, man? I forget the name. I'm calling it Tokyo Olympic game.
The Tokyo, y'all know what my brother's talking about.
He got his hands on some codes, man. Courtesy of Twitter, we found this out. So y'all check the brother out. I don't know what time he's going live. If anybody finds that out, drop it in the chat so that after the show, you all won't miss that one.
But what I'm talking about
right now.
Yeah. But what I'm talking about as far as people missing major articles from way back when that the community or sectors of the community Storm is saying, we don't hear about this. We were never told about this. We were never informed. And all we do is go in a hot tub time machine and show you that you were informed. You just weren't listening. So when you want that type of deep dive in stuff like that from my brother Storm, from my brother Rev, and the Catherine Hassai interview that laid the blueprint out for you, we kept trying to tell y'all about, and so on and so on, and you want to go to the places where we told you, hey, look, Google, we got it on good authority. Google's going to double down on the resources for the devs, and with cha-ching, come to PNTS Network, baby. This is just the quality stuff.
It's going to be a hot Stadia summer. You know what I'm saying? You heard that right here. PNTS Network, man. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on and on. Cyberpunk day and date on Stadia is going to happen.
Yep.
Sure enough, it does. Day and date. Now, they had to push it back, but it was still day and date with the rest of the world. You know? Yep. So things like that, man. Not to toot our own horn, man. But we had when we're right, we had to call it out there. Because, see, what's happening in MM2K is there's a lot of journalists. And I had to throw journalists out there, big YouTubers out there. We talk about them all the time because it baffles us, man. How are they not able to do what we do when it's a part of what they do? You get what I'm saying? What they do. the vetting process and all this stuff, man. It's all I do is just use my long fingers, right? You know, I play basketball, man. I got some monkey hands. Got some monkey hands and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm a dunker. I'm a dunker and all that, right? So I just use my long fingers and the type, Stadia, pick up the news, technology, whatever the case is, right? The power of Google. And I use Google to do it. Now, that's crazy as hell. Google search, man. Man, and we're talking about a company that, hey, you want to bet against Google, man? Hold on.
I'm turning the show over. Storm, you got it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, man, we want to bet against Google. See, I didn't want to do this, man. You know, I didn't want to do this, man. We keep doing it and keep making the haters look more and more silly. One of the haters hit me back, and I was glad. He took pride in being a hater. Hit me up in the comment section.
Hi, hater.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna call him out by name because I respect the brother for hitting me back, man. He hit me up, and then my brother came out there and chimed in, and then I don't know if he responded after the last time you chimed in. But
yeah.
You know, the thing is, man, it's a beautiful discussion. It's a beautiful thing, y'all. But I'm not betting against Google and Stadia, especially when I know that there's others like Amazon and out there that's trying to get Amazon and Microsoft and others who are trying to get to the same. I don't even want to say prize, man, because it really seems as if these companies know that this could help the industry. And I think as gamers, we're all, even though we give money to these companies and everything, I think we're all, if they take away gaming, we're all going to be in a fickle or pickle, however you want to say it, man. It's going to be a bad situation if they take away gaming. So at some point we have to look at the overall health of the industry, MM2K. And I know this is not on the notes, but I think it's important to talk about, bro. Like, we bet against a company like this who's showing us the technology is first in class, world class, man. And if you don't believe that, all you got to do is check out some of these videos from all these great creators out here that's dropping content on a regular basis, man. At a regular clip. You don't have to go to IGN to try to find a review. You don't have to go to Metacritic to look for a score. You might find Guilt and others, right? But you don't have to go out there and search for that stuff, man. You could come over here and check out the content creators that's telling you about Stadia every single damn week, every month, every year. You know what I'm saying? That Stadia is doing this thing. So that I just want to throw that out there, man. But go ahead, man.
No. Look, bro, I had to give it to you because you're on fire. You about to make me just walk out of my own. You ain't even start yet. You're about to make me not only walk away from the mic, but walk out of my own damn house and be like, look, I don't belong here. My brother's telling you the truth. But here's the thing, y'all. I know it gets coined a lot that there's the Stadia Defense Force and all this other stuff, and where we don't want to talk about negative stuff. We talk about negative stuff all the time. It's just this, and I brought this up in a previous stream. If there's not a lot, if we understand what the platform is trying to do, and we understand that there's others that recognize that as well. And there's a large group, again, like I said on last show, poll after poll after poll when it comes to cloud gamers, people that dedicate their gaming via the cloud. When they're asked, how do you feel about Stadia? Stadia overwhelmingly, Stadia is either their favorite place to play or they're positive about it. There is a subsect of people that feel different, and your opinions aren't wrong for your user case, but you can't get the rest of us to feel what you feel because you're looking at it through a different lens. So my message to everybody that don't understand why we don't drudge up things and try to find things to make it Stadia look bad when it's actually a good thing, like the fact that they are going to storm white label the product to a certain degree to get more business on. Amazon's doing the same thing. The only thing Amazon is doing is that in order for you to access those other partner things, you got to go through Amazon and go through their channels. I think it's smarter for Stadia to do it outside of their platform and say, look, we're not going to restrict you to where you got to have Stadia branding all over the place. But it's the same difference, because guess what? If I want to fire up Stadia, I can do it on my Google TV. If I want to fire up not Android, but Activision TV, probably not the best company to use right now. If I want to fire up Square Enix TV, I can do it on my Google TV. It's the same difference. And you're going to be paying the same prices, whether you go through the Stadia UI to do it or their own individual UI. But at the end of the day, it's still cha-ching for Stadia that's going to fund the growth of the platform, just like Microsoft working with PlayStation to get them on their technology will further fund Xbox. You know what I'm saying? And their gaming efforts. So again, it's just looking at it through the right prism, and helping you look through it at the right prism is paying attention to the stuff that Storm and Rev is going to talk about tomorrow, the stuff that we talked about in the past. Yeah, I can sit there like with Xbox, Storm, and I don't like Xbox. I don't like it. But just because I don't like Xbox, I'm not going to spread doom and gloom over it. Xbox is going to be fine. But that would be like me sitting there every day saying, well, you know what? Xbox only won 2 NPDs in the last 24 months. They have no exclusives that people really want, all like that. That's really propelling their software sales. Look, their revenue even went down, and they tried to blame third-party purchases on it and all this other. I can do doom and gloom too. But when you look at the full trajectory, Storm, Xbox is going to be fine. When you take it at a smaller scale and look at just purely cloud gaming and what the milestones are, the fact that Phil Harrison spoke to Blueprint earlier and did all that stuff, and everything is coming to fruition, the keynote, the fact that they're doubling down on the devs, Stadia is just going to be fine. Whether you like it or not, it's going to be fine. And that's all I got to say. Anything else, Storm, before we move?
I had to drop something for you. I had to drop something for the chat. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I had to drop this for myself, man, because there's some fire going on already, man. The show is too damn hot. Calm down a little bit, man. Calm down a little bit. Sit your, like I always say, sit your ass on a block of ice and chill, bro.
I told them to leave the house.
We're doing too much too fast. We got the chat out here talking about Azure and AWS and all this already, man. I mean, we're talking about Satya. Hey, who said that? Junior? I know that Satya is in meetings saying to harness the power of Azure to get games in the hands of consumers, man. Yes. It's all about this cloud, bro.
Yes.
Remember the shows when I kept saying this lady got on stage, y'all, and from AMD, and she said basically something about the consoles, PC gaming, and beyond. Now, yes. She said mobile too, so it can't be mobile. Now, she didn't specifically say cloud gaming, so that's what leads me to think she's talking about cloud gaming, man. They already have AMD GPUs and that's being utilized with Stadia and all that stuff, bro, and the consoles and all that. It's crazy out here how all this stuff is coming full circle, man. So let's keep on doing what we do out here, y'all. Keep it hot. Let's go.
All right. With that said, thank you all for joining us today. Again, another PNTS Network show. We got a slew of others. We'll get to those at the end of the show. But definitely, again, I can't say this any further. We had to spend what we spent 25. We had to spend 25 minutes on that. It was necessary. Y'all want to watch that show, okay? All right. With that said, let's get on down, and talk about today's topics. First and foremost, what we got on the docket? What we got on the docket here?
What was on the docket? I forgot was on the damn docket, man.
I know we was. Hey, we could do a whole show just off of that, man. It's so fire, man. Crazy stuff. Here we go though. Is this right? No, this ain't right. Oh man. Well, let's talk about the Storm Control on Stadia until I find the right link. Let's talk about Control on Stadia, bro. What are your thoughts of the game? I mean, after more time with it, is it still the king of ports to you, brother?
I didn't even have to touch the game again. Y'all know me. Hey, look, when something scorches like Control did on Stadia, and I'm gonna get into why, right? Some people might say, damn, Storm, the game has already been out on other platforms. But see, here's the problem. I tried to boot it up on other cloud services, man. I looked for a high frame rate. It was not there.
Wow.
Where the hell is the word ultimate? It was not there. So they don't have the ultimate edition right now. But you know what? The Stadians do, because the Stadians waited patiently. Like Stadia Revolution always tries to tell y'all to do, man. Like Clive Illington tells y'all to do. Like so many people, Sunny Cloud Gaming and so many others out here, man. Always reminds y'all, Bill and Lloyd and everybody, man, have some patience. Have a little bit of patience. That's all you need. MM2K. So many others, man. Just have a little bit of patience. John Scar, so many others out here, man. Just have a little bit of patience, guys. And you're gonna see these things come to light. So I sat back in my chair, my rocking chair with a can of Old Milwaukee, a tall can, and I said, when Control comes, bro, this is what I remember saying. It's going to be the game that we want it to be. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
It might just be the ultimate edition. Now I knew that we weren't going to get ray tracing. If we had gotten some, hey, let me tell y'all something. They had said Control launching now with ray tracing.
Yeah.
My wife would have had to pick me up from the ER. And it's that simple, man. I mean, I'm telling you right now. Can you imagine?
Oh man.
So later on down the, forget all that, man. That'll come down the road. We know that ray tracing is not the deal breaker right now when it comes to Stadia and cloud gaming, right? But I'm talking about, just imagine one day when we get features like that. And I'm already talking like I am right now. So Control, man, going back to it, is so amazing, man. It's just an amazing game all around, first of all, right? Before we get into the port and all that stuff. Now, I don't think it's a perfect port, MM2K. But it's still up there with the king of ports. And I do think right now in 2021, it is the port that caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
Because you talked about Madden. You talked about Madden, and we know that Madden runs 60 FPS everywhere. Even last gen hardware was running Madden at 60 FPS, right? Yeah. So I'm just gonna let you know how my algorithm works, man. The way I review, the way I select King of Port titles and stuff like that, man. Judgment was one. I gave y'all reasons why. You don't have to take my, you don't have to take my word for it. All you got to do is look at it, and just see it running. So Judgment, so many other games that we selected, the Doom games or whatever as KOP status, man. Control is just a game. It's it's the fact that it's taxing on PCs. The fact that consoles like the Xbox Series X, until the recent update, wasn't running the game at 60 FPS, man. I mean, you're talking next gen hardware, but it wasn't running the game until the update. So this is why I bring up ray tracing and stuff like that. Imagine those types of updates down the road for Stadia when it comes to not only Control, but other games that support ray tracing. And we've been talking a lot about Vulkan. We've been hearing a lot about Vulkan. We're going to talk about Vulkan possibly doing this show a little bit more, man. Like, all these things are coming. But Control is impressive without those features. High frame rate is all you need for a game like Control. You couple that with the low latency on Stadia, man, and you got yourself a hell of a title, bro. Like, the game is already dope. But the fact that I was streaming that game, and I did a live stream on it, y'all, day one. Check it out in 4K or whatever. I had a good time, man. 50-something likes on the video. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of fun. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was a lot of fun. I was proud to see a game like that come to the platform. It's just showing that more publishers are getting on board. More developers want their games on Stadia, and we even have something that goes that backs that whole notion that developers they had already wanted their games on Stadia. Now with these incentives and other things like that, probably even more so, they're gonna want more and more of their IP on Stadia. So with that being said, MM2K, that's initially how I feel about it, man. Now I can't put it into words, bro. I play the game across multiple platforms, including on my PC with the RTX 3080, with all the features, ultra settings, ray tracing, all that. My PC barely can handle it at 60 FPS when it's maxed out. I'm just letting you know. Now, of course, if I lower the settings, but we're talking about compromises right now. So I think we could, we shouldn't be worried about whether it's 1080p 60. That's for damn sure. 1080p or whatever it is, because that 1080p looked like it was upscaled to 4K. I couldn't tell the difference between the quality mode or whatever, the high frame rate mode and the 4K mode. I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't see it on my display.
Okay.
I couldn't see it on my display. So I don't know if you can. I can't wait to hear what you got to say. But bro, it's a lot to talk about here when you're talking about Control, man, because that's a game I was waiting on, man. The fact that it runs so beautifully, that's all I'm gonna say, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I really enjoy it. As far as do I consider it king of ports? I mean, you brought up a great point, Storm, because we talked about this behind the scenes where I was like, look, man, there's
Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say about Control, man. Be careful what you say. You gotta think about it, bro. Think about it, because I'm coming back after you.
He said, put some heavy thoughts into it. Hold on, y'all got to bear with it. Oh, no, this is weird. I don't know why this, y'all got to bear with the screen. It's acting real jank. But, and I'm trying to put control on the screen right now. Now it's so we can, and you know what? Y'all might be hearing something. I'm sorry. I stopped it. I stopped it. Right. I got to get it right. I'm sorry. You know me. I know that was probably annoying as all hell. But yeah, we got it on the screen now. The the thing is with Control is that it's smooth as hell, Storm. Don't get me wrong. It's smooth as hell. And it looks good. No, I basically put it like this. Everything about the game, the port on Stadia is fantastic. The only thing that raises a brow for me is that when you are in the bright lights, like the character model is, or everything in a bright light is washed. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in like regular lighting or whatever, the details are like great as far as I'm concerned. And as a performance mode, in the performance mode, the details are great. But for some reason, when they get in the bright lights, I don't know, maybe it's something with the engine or whatever, everything looks washed. Opposite of that, I would have put it as a king of ports, but when it's slightly there. It's there. It's getting there. But it's a hell of a port at that. A definite recommend buy, just for the simple fact that it's Stadia's it's Control, Storm. The fact that it's Control, which playing this game, Remedy makes some of the best games as far as I'm concerned. I loved Alan Wake. I don't give a damn what y'all say.
I love Quantum Break.
Yep. I don't give a damn what y'all say about Quantum Break. I love Quantum Break. And I just think I think it's a hell of a game. I think it's a hell of a game, and I urge everybody that you got to play this game to understand what I'm saying. So King of Ports for 2021, yeah, it deserves it. Overall, I don't know. We'll see. But another thing that Remedy does, Storm, that I think people overlook is they always go back to their games and they enhance them. So it's not too hard to fathom that they're going to come back to this when ray tracing becomes available, and they're going to implement ray tracing on this because they did a hell of a job with everything else. So I think it's a fantastic port. King of Ports for me, not sure. For 2021, yeah. Overall, I don't know, but it's still a hell of a game and worth the buy for me. Let me ask you the next question, though, Storm. Is there too much downplaying of performance due to some textures? Like, is everybody... Because we've seen some people come in, pop in chat, oh, this doesn't look like where's the ray tracing? And then, they say their stuff. Do you think that's a fair assessment or not?
I'm going to say this, man. All my life, I had to fight. All my life, I had to fight Snow Bunny Gaming. My sister, shout out to her, member of the PNTS network. I had to fight Doc Dark 1985, man. Shout out to the homie. Y'all know who he is by now. If you don't, look him up, man. Doc Dark 1985. Yes. Now I got to fight my own brother, man. MM2K.
Ooh.
Bro. I gotta say this to you, man, because I will not let you. I know you, and I heard you say all the positive things, man. You were 98% positive, and then you came in and said something negative, and I don't know if I agree with all that. I want to talk about my shortcomings, and that's hitting the pause button. The only one I saw was when I hit the pause button, and when it's time to unpause it, there's a half a millisecond hiccup when you unpause the game or whatever. Did you experience any of that?
I you know what? I didn't even pay attention to that, bro.
See. All right. So look, man. All right. I'm gonna forgive you. I'll forgive you. So that's the only thing I said. That I saw with this port. Was when you hit the pause button and all that. Now I will tell you one more time. I played the game on Xbox Series X. I played it on xCloud. I tried it on Luna. I tried it on my native PC, max settings.
Yep.
I don't know. I think you're expecting high level, pristine, like crazy clarity. I don't even see that on my PC. Like the game is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it's not gonna be cyberpunk with the textures and all that stuff. It's just not gonna be the most. It's not even gonna be like what just dropped. The Ascent, for example, has beautiful textures and lighting and all that stuff. Detail. It's not gonna wow you in that way. And I think that's what you might be looking for, my brother. I think you're looking for that next level crazy. And I'm not saying it's not a beautiful game. The art styles are just different and stuff. I think MM2K is looking for that shiny, P. Diddy shiny suit, man. Textures and stuff, man. So I don't want to sit here and let you sit up here and slight my KOP contender. Now, let me tell you what qualifies as a KOP contender, right?
Okay.
You have to hit the Stadia platform. You have to run great in the cloud. That's number one. You have to run great in the cloud. Now, see, that's where Stadia already got 5 to 10 extra bonus points just because the developers. I mean, Remedy got the game, and 505, I think, is the publisher or whatever. 505 Games. They got this game running in the cloud in a way that I turned off aim assist and was able to bust heads open, like wide open, bang, 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 just busting heads, just knocking heads off. MM2K. I mean, I was able to do everything I could do on my PC, on my next gen console, bro, except turning on that ray tracing and stuff. But I didn't even miss ray tracing. I didn't care about it too much. The GeForce Now, I tried it on GeForce Now. See, I forgot about GeForce Now. I turned on ray tracing on GeForce Now, but man, we know GeForce Now is just not ready yet. They need to put the 3090s up in there or something. They need to do something, man. Because, bruh. I need the FPS with all those all the ray tracing and stuff, man. I want to max settings out, So here's the thing: the port is not perfect, but you have to. There's so much more leeway that you have to give this game, in my opinion, bro, because of what it is doing. The nature of the game and how it's running MM2K, man. And I didn't want to beat you over the head too much about it, man. I'm going to go ahead and let the show continue. But I do want to rewind and say that you need to put that in your KOP catalog, man. You need to put it in a consideration, honorable mention or something. Because, bro, what's your top 3 ports, man? Just tell me real quick, then we can move on.
Well, Madden, Division 2. And if 3 is going to be hard. I would say 3 is going to be a cross between Resident Evil 8 and Judgment. Judgment impressed the hell out of me.
Oh man, they're all great.
Yeah. So if for me,
I'm keep selecting my Doom games, bro. I'm gonna walk off the panel.
I know, man. Yeah, Doom.
You even, man. Hey, look, bro. How many weeks do I have on my contract, man? How many weeks do I have?
Hey, bro. You know what it is about Doom?
Nothing, bro. Nothing. There's nothing you could say. Man,
I expected Doom to be fantastic on this. I know that doesn't sound right. I know that makes absolutely no damn sense. But I expected Doom to be killer. The king of ports is, for me, the litmus that I have in it is kind of like a childhood feeling to where you're surprised. And maybe I shouldn't be surprised by Madden, but because it's EA, I was surprised. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised. But the element in my rating is the element of surprise. Like, I was shocked at how well the Division 2 runs on stage. It like blows my mind. Like, oh. And when you balance it out, really Division 2, the way it plays on Stadia still can't be rivaled by anything but except PC. I'm saying that even now with the 60 frames per second upgrade on the next gen consoles. I still don't think, you know what I'm saying? Because that frame is still smooth. Like, well, I can't talk for the Xbox Series X.
It's smooth on the Series X. I will tell you that right now.
Okay, I can't talk for the Series X.
With the update, it's buttery, bro. But before Stadia was slapping them all over the place, man. 60 to 30.
I can talk about PlayStation, though. I could for PlayStation. But see, Xbox... what they've done successfully is they've done a lot better with their backwards compatibility upgrades and stuff like that. So I don't doubt you there at all. For the PlayStation 5, Stadia still slaps it with Division 2 on the PlayStation 5 to me. So that was a surprise how well that ran. Then you look at Judgment. That really surprised me. Really surprised me that game would look that great and perform that well. Man. Like, that's one of the crispiest looking games on the platform, and it performs well. That surprised me. And then what else did I say? I said Resident Evil 8 was a surprise too. You know what I'm saying?
All these great titles you're naming, bro. All these titles I'm listening to MM2K, but ain't no games on Stadia. What?
I know exactly. There's
Go
nothing
ahead.
on
Go
Stadia.
ahead, bro.
There's nothing on
Go
Stadia. You ain't
ahead.
know that, Storm? You ain't know that? Ain't nothing on Stadia.
Yeah, I knew it, but I didn't want to repeat it. Yeah, there's no
You ain't
games
want to
on Stadia,
expose
but
it.
we're just naming a handful of games that's
Yeah.
KOP contenders, man. That's on
Yep.
Stadia playing like they do on PC. And oh man, go ahead, bro.
Um. Shout out to Marcus. You earned your wings, good brother. I don't even know why I didn't even have you as a mod earlier. But yeah, man, King of Ports. I get it. It. You know, mine's is like more childish to the point of where I want that superficial feeling of surprise. I don't know if, and it may not be superficial. You know what I mean? So there's an element of surprise in there. But no, it's a hell of a port. And that leads us to our next question, Storm. Is it too expensive at $40? What do you think? It's an
Oh, good
older
question.
game. It's an older game. It's old. It's been everywhere else. $40 on Stadia without ray tracing. What do you think, Storm?
Good question, man. Well, first of all, what you have to think about, I think I will say this to anybody who has those concerns, man. You have to remember that Stadia ray tracing hasn't hit yet. You know, so if ray tracing was present in Cyberpunk, but not on Control, I might feel that way, right?
Yeah.
But because it's not present anywhere, I have to
Tell
just
me.
give them a
Tell
pass
me
on
about it.
that. But the game is beautiful without it. So I will say we could go ahead and X that, right? When it
Yep.
comes to the price point, $40
Yep.
for the Ultimate Edition. The developers are in this thing to make bread. They have to make some money. They want their games on the platform, right?
Yep.
$40, I think, is a fair price for them to pay. You never know. Control could be on sale next week. You just never know, man. Like, so down the road, Stadia could reach out to the publisher or whatever and say, look, man, we want, however those sales work, or the publisher could just say, look, we're just going to put Control on sale. We think it'll move more copies or whatever in a month. I understand how the business has to work, so it's going to be, my thoughts are going to be different than somebody who just needs Control at $20, man. Ultimate Edition at $20, right? We all know how this goes by now, though. We know that Stadia is going to have big sales. We know that these publishers want to move as many units as possible. Yes, even on Stadia, they want to move as many units as possible. So I think that that's a nothing burger, man. I think that $40 is a good price to play for one of the most awarded video games. Listen, man, hold on. Let me pause. The most awarded video games in recent time. $40.
Yeah.
Nintendo is out here charging for Skyward Sword
Yeah.
$60 with new textures that ain't even really 4K.
Yep. You ain't lied.
I think we can go ahead and let that slide. I think we can let that slide, man. I mean, we have other games out there. You know what I'm saying? We got Flight Sim out here with microtransactions. I just paid $20 for a jet. I mean, I think that's a nothing burger for me. Now, to the other gamers, I have to respect your feelings, man. Like, if you thought ray tracing should be present, you don't really know much about Stadia. You might want to do a little bit more research, man, before you buy the game next time, because nobody in their right mind should have been anticipating that. But what you will see is a beautiful game. Now, I want to go back to you, MM2K, real quick.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if it's my OLED display. I don't know if you had 10-bit color on, and I know my brother about to say, "What? Nah, Stone, don't come at my neck." I got the 10-bit color all the time. When I browse the internet, it's 10-bit color. So, bro, I thought the game looked amazing. The black levels, I talked about it in my live stream, how deep the black levels were when I got in the white area. See, the game, I told you, because of the lighting or whatever, it is going to appear washed out at certain times. Quantum Break was the same way, bro. Like, at certain times, the lighting wasn't like that milky, silky lighting. If I'm just going to put my term on it, that milky, silky, volumetric lighting and stuff that you just drool about, like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk gives you some of that, right? So I think that's what it is, man. So that I think the game is well worth the price, bro, of $40, man. Well worth the price. And when it drops on sale, there's no reason for anybody not to have it.
Yeah, I think that your synopsis on it is well more matured than mine. I got to be honest with you, Storm. I have never touched this game until it dropped on Stadia. I've
And see, that's
seen
what it is.
the gameplay of it. So you have a lot better take and experience with it than I have. Because I could be looking at something, I'd be like, oh, that's washed, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, but I bet you it looks better here, and it doesn't, and it simply doesn't. And I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just ignorant to the whole situation. So, again, I think you might be spot on, bro. And I'm just, I'm just nitpicking. But at the end of the day, oh, this is my favorite game now. This is my, like, I play it everywhere now. And I had so much fun on last night's stream. Shout out to all of y'all that watched on Stadia Dosage News, and shout out to all of y'all that came over to our new platform, which is called Stadia Dosage Plus, where what we're going to do over there on Stadia Dosage Plus, y'all, is we're going to take a lot of this content that's on YouTube and we're going to drop it on Twitch after the fact. Particularly the streams will be simulcasted both there and on YouTube, and then maybe some of the shows here and there will drop there later. That's to make sure that, again, we try to reach a broader audience as possible. But speaking of jank, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, we secure the content for you all versus the YouTube jank. what I mean by YouTube jank is sometimes YouTube can do some crazy stuff, and you contact them, you hit them up, Storm, and you be like, yo, can you help me out? Something's going on. They're like, yeah, deal with it, sucker. So to deal with that jank, to make sure, because I've had to deal with it before, Storm, and it wasn't a pleasant thing,
Right.
where my old channel got shut down for 5 months, bro. 5 months.
Oh, man.
Wasn't a good feeling. Can y'all imagine Stadia Dosage getting shut down for 5 months? Some people would pop that champagne. They'd probably be like, pop champagne.
That's right.
They'd be celebrating. But if Stadia Dosage shut down for 5 months and we had no backup recourse, that wouldn't be a cool thing for y'all. We'd be okay. Me and Storm would be okay. We'd probably just double up on his platform or whatever. We'd be okay, but that wouldn't be a good thing for y'all and access is concerned. So we created Stadia Dosage Plus for an all-stop shop for most of our Stadia Dosage content. Not all of it, but for most of it after the fact, and some live streams. So definitely check it out on Twitch if you like watching stuff on Twitch. That being said, I had a lot of fun playing it last night, Storm. It's my favorite game right now. So using your litmus, which a lot of people I'm pretty sure is using as their version of King of Ports, I mean, it's just a great game altogether, man.
Really, yeah.
God damn. I mean, what is your final rating? Not just of the Stadia thing, the Stadia port of it, but what do you feel about this game altogether, even 2 years after the fact? How does this game still stack versus all the other games that we've been playing the last few years?
Given everything I said and the difficulty of getting this game to run on some of the best, most powerful PCs at max settings, like the 4K 30 is beautiful, but so is the 1080p 60, bro. They put some love and care into it, is what I think, because we've seen some janky ports, bro.
Yeah.
We've seen some poor performance. Now the 30 FPS, I do have to talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I don't prefer any game running at 30, even a real-time strategy game. I don't even Flight Sim needs to run at 60 to me. You know what I mean? Because it just makes for a smoother overall experience, bro, all around. At 4K, you really want 60 FPS along with that 4K in most cases, man. So I will say, not every game needs 30 FPS. I mean 60 FPS. Not, it is what it is. I was happy to play certain games, but see, I was playing games at 30 at 8K.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was fine with that because that was an experimental phase.
It was a big trade. It was a nice trade off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I was playing them at 60 FPS and higher as well as at 8K. So I'm a different type of dude. So MM2K overall score, I'm gonna give it a 9, man, 9.5, because I told you it got some bonus points from me just because it's running so well in the cloud. We've seen Outriders, people. We've seen Far Cry 5 running at 30 and all that. No shots at these games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, other games running at 30. That could have been so beautiful. You go see them on the Series X. You go see them on these next-gen consoles and PC, and then you understand what I'm talking about. Stadia is capable. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to just adding high frame rate modes and all that stuff, man. It's more than capable. We've seen games at 4K 60 that should not have been 4K 60, Destiny 2, Division 2, with all this crazy stuff going on that should create jank that we're about to talk about in a minute. Should create a lot of jank and stuff, man. It's definitely, so that's what I give it, man. I give it a 9.5. Right? 9.5. The only thing I can take away
9.5.
is that pause issue, that 9.5, man, because of the
9.5.
pause issue. Yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna outdo you.
Don't outdo me.
I'm gonna outdo you. I'm gonna cause some controversy. I want the high haters. I want them to come out, and I want them to come out in full fledged storm. Oh shoot! Hold on 1 second. Hold on. You know what, Storm? Can you take over just for 2 minutes? I'll be right back.
Take over.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
That's perfect because I'm about to go. G Millie just popped that champagne, man. You know what I'm saying? So I see him out there. I'm gonna go up this chat real quick. We got Amanor saying shutting you guys down would be a dumb move from Google since your channel is the only one defending Stadia. I don't think we are defending Stadia, Amanor, and I think there's other channels who are supporting Stadia because they see what we see. They see the ultimate goal. They see what this thing could mean for all the gamers on the planet that hasn't touched gaming ever in their lives. This is what Stadia is about, bro. But you know it though. You know it. You know what it's all about, man. Let me see. Next we go hard is in the house talking to Chariot Man. So that means Chariot Man Gaming is somewhere around. Shout out to you. Next we go hard. Alberto Modano said he's talking to Proto P. Said just go to Twitch freedom of choice. Oh man, there's definitely some preference going on up in there when it comes to see. I do YouTube because I love YouTube. I'm used to it. It's so easy. It's so convenient. Like all my videos that I do in 4K. Let me break something down real quick and then I go up this chat. So the reason why I love YouTube so much is because I could go live, whether that be public or I could have my videos unlisted or private or whatever, right? I could go live at 4K. I can make 30 videos per week if I want to. 30 live streams per week. I could do them, right? And I could have them all just sitting there ready to be unlocked at 4K 60 frames per second, right, y'all? Can't do that on Twitch, man. Not even as an affiliate. I don't think I could hit 4K. Can I hit 4K on Twitch? So this is what I'm saying. See, MM2K and others, and I appreciate everybody that does the multiple, platform thing, but I prefer YouTube all day because YouTube just allows, it's like an endless vault for me to just drop gameplay videos. Most of the time, I'm dropping these videos for me first, so I can go back and watch them, or I can say to my son, man, check this out right here. You want to see this game? Oh, I tried it. That's why I'm in my mindset of sampling so many games right now versus powering through games and getting fatigued because I'm just trying to complete them. I used to be that type of guy, the completionist. I want to go through and I want to complete everything, get as many trophies or whatever the case is. I want to go do some side quests. But now with so many games being out, man, I'm more of let's just get as many videos as I can out here on the channel. Then when those games call me back, I jump back on them like Resident Evil Village. I need to complete that. There's so many games I need to complete, right? But I know I'm not the only one feeling that way. But YouTube does all that stuff, man. It's just easy. You know what I'm saying? Everything is there. Once you hit 1,000 subs, you get extra options and all that, man. You can monetize your channel. You can do that, of course, on Twitch. But I'm not too familiar with Twitch because YouTube is all that. So there's just some reasons for me, man. Have all these things, these videos in 4K ready to go. I could just unlock them right on your head like I'm about to do with some The Ascent gameplay that I just made I just made this video yesterday on PC. I'm going to drop that one today, The Ascent. Looking real good, real crispy. I hope it comes to Stadia. That's a game that I would like to see come to Stadia. I think it'd be perfect for the platform. No matter what other people think about the game, no matter what Metacritic says about it, I had fun with the game. I think it's beautiful. I mean, it's a highly detailed, beautiful game. Looks next gen level, like, 2021 PC graphics to me with ray tracing and stuff on. The Ascent would be cool to come to Stadia. So I hope they can make that happen. But let's go up here, man. There's Chariot Man Gaming saying, what's up? We got Geek the Sneak in the building saying, we in here, y'all. You already know. We got Kenja Kun in the house. Let me see. We got Deep 99 said, I tried Stadia at McDonald's and it worked perfectly. Stadia is the truth.
Thanks, bro.
Now, damn. Now, you shouldn't have came in here saying that, Deep. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you should have came in here saying that, but I agree with you 100%. See, the haters might get mad at that. You can't come in here talking about you tried Stadia at McDonald's with literally with McDonald's Wi-Fi,
internet.
bro.
Wow.
With McDonald's Wi-Fi. Don't come in here playing around, man. You know what I'm saying? I tried Stadia at Best Buy. I tried Stadia in the courthouse. See, it was blocked in the courthouse, though. But it connected and everything, did what it was supposed to do. The courthouse just blocked it. But
Yep.
in Best Buy, I was playing Destiny 2, man. Got footage of it
Mm.
and everything. Worked like a dream. I played it definitely in other places as well, but crazy. So Porter John is in the building, man. MM2K is back, so we're gonna continue the show. Kessel Runners
Yeah.
up in here, man. We appreciate every one of y'all that
Woo.
stopped by.
Hey, thank y'all. Hey, Storm, hey, look, almost forgot to do something important. And if I wouldn't have done this, when my wife came home,
Your jaw
MM2K's,
would have been tapped.
hey, yo, not just that, but the next SSC would have been done from the porch. You ought to been like,
Oh wow.
why is it I hear seagulls and everything? Why I hear
Oh,
seagulls in the background? Yeah, okay. All right, we got that squared away, people. So yeah, I want to follow up on that too, man. That's what makes Stadia so versatile. I remember my brother, shout out to him, just had his first newborn. Shout out to him. Nature Boy.
Got out.
We were at the hospital. And the hospital had great Wi-Fi. We were there for one of our family members. And a lot of us were staying overnight and stuff like that. And, you know, I brought my laptop and all this other stuff. Wi-Fi was fantastic at the hospital. And I remember that Stadia wasn't out yet. Oh, no, it was out yet. I'm sorry. But, no. I'm lying. Stadia wasn't out yet. And there was just GFN. I tried GFN and that Wi-Fi. Trash.
Oh man.
I went back to that same hospital several months later for somebody else that was in there. And we were only there for a little bit, though. It wasn't as severe. Both Stadia and GFN were out at the time. GFN, trash.
Oh no. Whoa.
Stadia, mwah, perfectimo. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I said this in the previous stream, and we're not trying to hate on different platforms. Whatever works well for you, works well for you. If you like it, I love it. But we got to give Stadia its flowers now because the technology is top tier. And
yeah, so top tier to MM2K, they're here, and I'm hearing they're about to white label it again, man.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I know.
Right,
it's
boy.
dead.
I had to go there.
Like,
man. I had to go there.
Can we? No, you know what? I'm a diverge there with you too. Let me say this. There are those of us that are disappointed that Stadia, because they like how it plays, but there are those of us that are disappointed that Stadia out of the box wasn't trying to do what Dreamcast did, or wasn't trying to do what the GameCube did, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't trying to compete on the main stage and get everything. You know what I'm saying? So they're disappointed. They wanted all of their gameplay to be via Stadia. They wanted all the latest and greatest games to come out starting in 2019 to be on Stadia eventually at some point in time. They wanted Stadia to take that approach. And they're disappointed that Stadia is not taking that approach. They don't care about the fact that it's a 2% business. They want Google to throw all of their resources towards it to do all this, even though the ceiling is low. When you look at the market aspects of it, even if Google took all of their war chests and got every single game on there, it's still only a 2% business. They would have to throw away so much money to get these games on here, and all of them on immediately. For you to go to these developers and say, I'm not going to worry about the 98% business. I'm going to develop during COVID for this 2% business. Yeah, just give me $50 to port it. Hell no. Google would have to throw away so much money. And at the end of the day, guess what's going to happen? You're only going to have 2% sales. So if you do the math, Storm, it doesn't make sense for Google to do that. For them to spend all the money that they would need to spend to get everything over here right, like they would probably have to say, we're going to give you $500 million a port. We're talking upwards of that. Because people have to divert resources. We're in the middle of COVID. You got to divert resources from polishing the games on PlayStation and Xbox, or developing from PlayStation and Xbox, to now focus on Stadia. That's its own platform. It's on Linux. We're talking, did I say hundreds of millions, $500 million in order for that to happen. And only for you to have a 2% player base to buy the games. So that's why there has to be a progression to this, y'all.
I don't know about that 2%. I feel like that 2% has risen a little bit, man. I got to question that 2%. I'm gonna have to go back out there and look at some recent news, man, because this thing right here, you can't tell me, man, with all these endpoints that somebody somewhere is not signing up right now doing SML podcast, man. And that's a lot of different places and different territories.
It's growing.
You said all business, cloud gaming. I know what you're saying.
It's growing, but not a lot of people trust cloud gaming right now. Don't get me wrong; these endpoints are, helping spur some growth. Like even before Google TV, Stadia grew 200% in a 12-month span. That's fantastic. And yes, you're right, Storm. It's going to be even higher, but beyond 2%, like really, it's not at 1%. I'm talking about 1% of gaming business right now. It's not at 1% right now. It's going to get there though. It's going to eventually get there. As people begin to trust this methodology, then they'll do it. However, with that being said, they're not going to throw away that type of money only to get back X amount of return. Okay, that's Google would be driving themselves in the ground. So there has to be a progression to this. There has to be deals hashed out, things get worked on, and they're working hard at them at hashing out these deals. Trust me, there's going to be a progression, and games will come here. With that,
but we don't see Phil though. Our Phil.
Exactly, you don't see them out there with the limbo shirts. Here's the problem with that whole analysis: is you'll find out when you watch Stadia Revolution tomorrow. They're going to drop it on for your ass. They're going to drop it on your ass tomorrow. Trust me. But here's the problem with that thought process. Just because you're disappointed that Stadia isn't doing XYZ, it's not going to fail. People are upset. They're disappointed that it didn't do what they wanted it to do. And therefore, they want to find every single job description or whatever to make it seem like it's a failure.
They can dig for that. They can dig for that, boy. But they can't come out and drop what me and Rev is about to drop tomorrow. And see, that's what I'm talking. We're talking about balance and fairness and all that stuff, man. And I keep bringing up, man. How come people can scour the internet for those lowly details that comes from out of nowhere that's already been talked about before, but they can't bring up all the positivity, like the hundreds of millions of endpoints and all that stuff that we keep breaking down. Now, I really want somebody to find an answer to that and let me know, man, because it's baffling. I'm just confused.
You know what? I find it hard to. You find what you want, Storm, and I find it hard to fathom that we can find stuff like that really was already talked about. But let's just say if everybody didn't talk about it, because here's what happened. The people that had the fathomable discussions, we saw that and we said, oh, yeah, that's what Phil Harrison said in the SGE letter. They're going to white label alongside of their other business. That's what we understood it for. And we just went about our business. That's why we never made a big deal out of it. But we talked about it. Sunny Cloud talked about it. We talked about it here on this platform. I remember our good brother Brian Chappelle and one of the threads that 9 to 5 Google did, who originally covered the story. They brought it up, and he did it. He did it in a laughing manner, and we all laughed it off because we said, "Oh, when the haters see this, they're going to make a big deal out of it." But it was what we understood it to be. I find it hard to find balance in the reporting there, but y'all couldn't find the Catherine Hasai interview? Y'all couldn't find that one? And I was told in some regions that the reason why that people found the interview, Storm, but they didn't want to talk about it because things were unclear. Huh? What? You guys, when you're double reporting this story, you're saying, well, it's unclear this, it's unclear what this means. It's unclear if they're going to shut down or if they're going to stay open. It's unclear. That's unclear, right? Y'all say unclear all in the article. But y'all couldn't can't pick up the Catherine Hasai interview? Again, there are the canoe people that want to sit on the canoe and talk, and they look out in the sea, in the Bering Sea. They're looking for anything negative Stadia to hyperventilate about or get you to hyperventilate about. What you have to do is let those people sit and stand in the canoe and let them go off into to sunset. I find it disappointing that there are a few more people that want to get in that canoe. Like there was one publication, Storm, that I was very surprised tried to pick up on this, and there was another tech, that tried to pick up on it. But they're made up of people on Twitter, the handful of people on Twitter that's Clive Linden talked about, people that follow information and post it, people that write articles, people that big up publications. There are a variety of people on this canoe. Let them have that conversation by themselves, because they are just simply upset that Stadia ain't doing what they wanted to do. And because it ain't doing what they wanted to do, until it does, the mind state is, I am going to find anything that I can and over accent it until you do what I want you to do. At any turn, I'm going to make you look bad until you do what I want you to do. You got to let those people be on the canoe. You do. Period. All right. I'm sorry, Storm. I know I blabbered into the ethos.
That was perfect. It was
needed. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And it was disappointing to see, like I said, I expect from certain realms, I expected it, and I just bypassed it and think of it. But I was disappointed to see one realm in particular not only feed off of it, but get it even more wrong. And shout out to Stadia Rev that pointed it out. Got it even more wrong. Hopefully y'all fix that. Because it's going to come to a point, Storm, to where we just going to have to say, I can't read none of your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't follow any of your content.
They started pumping the brakes on certain, man. I know where to get my news from. I get my news from the small, hungry, fact-driven publications and stuff like that now, man. I'm real careful about it. You know what I mean? Or the ones who are just bringing those facts from the get-go, keeping it right down the middle. They could talk, they could be concerned, and they could praise. And, if it's all based on fairness and everything and stuff like that, and they've done a little bit of research, I could rock with them, man. But these other ones, man, I have freedom of choice, and I'm going to choose,
So, I mean, that's how I feel about that discussion. It's great to see. I particularly, and I believe we mentioned this. We talked about this, Storm. I particularly think when it originally broke 3 weeks ago or a month ago, I really the job posting was out there June 30th, for crying out loud. Here it's September or July 31st, so about a month ago. When it originally broke, I remember saying, I can't remember which show it was, that I thought it was a smarter move again, because they're doing essentially what Amazon is doing, but not forcing their partners to do it through their UI. They're saying, hey, look, you can create your own UI, do whatever you want to do. It's still going to be on Google TV, just like how Stadia is. People want to, and people that are fans of our tech are still going to access it. And the way I look at it is, as far as creation is concerned, or content creators are concerned, it turns Stadia from just a singular platform to a technical showcase that powers a lot of stuff. So people like me, Storm, Clive Linden, Cloud Gaming Dad, our Stadia content is going to quadruple, because now we're going to have all the Activision stuff and all the Square Enix stuff, whoever wants to use the tech. So that makes it even more bubbly and lovely. So again, you got to let those canoe people be in the canoe and do what they do. You're going to sadly see some of the major publications join the canoe too, because I guess it's a slow season and they need clicks or whatever the case may be. But at some point in time, you got to turn your back to it and just walk away and let them be in the canoe, let it flow out in the Bering Sea, as my good friend Cloud Chariot Man Gaming says. All right. With that being said, anything else, Storm, before we move on to the tech? Speaking of the tech, anything else?
Yes, there is. There is one more thing.
Yes, sir.
To all of these journalists and, these publications that I keep talking about, the big YouTubers and all of that stuff, man, who to see that Stadia is out here. And I want to say this, not as a fanboy. You call me what you want, but when I'm on PC and Xbox and everywhere else where I want to be, can't really call me a fanboy. If you do, you might look kind of dumb. So here's what I'm about to say. These same people out here doing this can't realize all of the potential good when it comes to the fact, see, Stadia as the king, Stadia as the GOAT has to be hated on because nobody ever hated on the D-head. Like I always say, man, the D-head don't get no hate because that's what he is. He's just a D-head. Nobody cares about him, right? He's him. He's on the canoe. So all these people out here not realizing the greater impact, the greater good of what this could mean for cloud gaming, which AKA is the evolution of gaming. The evolution of gaming. I almost said but I didn't. But who in the right mind wants to see gaming stay stagnant, man? I'm talking about who wants to imagine we were still on Pong. And all the graphics look like Pong. Cyberpunk Pong. You get what I'm saying, man? Resident Evil 8 Pong.
Yep.
Shout out to Pong, by the way. It's a classic. I'm not taking no shots at Pong now. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about from the graphical standpoint. People don't want to see it evolve, right? Here's something to think about. But Stadia's out here saying we had this technology, and yes, we are willing to share it with you, developers, partners, and publishers or whatever, right? We're really willing to share what we have here, and they're so confident. MM2K, I tell you what, if you was on top of your game, you might have this in the notes right now. Do you? Do you have anything like this in the notes? Like how Stadia is out here trying to they're even willing to share their secret sauce, man.
Bruh.
They're willing to share some of it.
You know it.
Wait, now let me shut up, Dan. Let me shut up. All right, I'm shutting my mouth. But I think y'all know where I was headed. But we'll get back to that when it's the right time. Damn.
As a matter of fact, you know how great minds think alike, and you know what we're about to do here. Let me clear that, and we might as well go to the next topic at hand. Let's see here.
I don't know why they can't. I don't know why they can't realize they can't see this.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, again, I think what it boils down to, Storm, is people are disappointed that Stadia is deciding to take the building road. They were under the impression that Stadia was going to come out and fight like how Dreamcast tried to fight, but just a cloud version of Dreamcast or OnLive 2.0. And Google isn't one of the richest companies in the world for just jumping into stuff and throwing all of their money away. They think things through. They spend a lot of money on projects, and a particular project that they worked on, they may have looked at it and said, you know what, it's not going to capsulize into something that we thought it was going to be, but it has good portions. And they don't completely throw it away. They'll take that good portion and put it into something else. But they didn't become one of the richest companies in the world by being dummies, pretty much. So what they decided to do was, what every cloud company is deciding to do, every cloud company is talking slow and steady about their cloud business. Xbox, what did they say, Storm? Oh, cloud gaming is just a way to game when you're away from your console. What did GFN say? They said essentially the same thing. Amazon, I mean, shout out to them. They're trickling stuff out there. We don't know when they're going to be out in beta. It could be 2052 and they still in beta. Who knows? Shadow PC just came out of bankruptcy. And the list goes on and on and on. So I get to where y'all wanted Stadia because Stadia can perform with native hardware to just hop out there and do a Dreamcast and just say, the hell with it, we're risking it all. But Google is smarter than that. And when it comes to cloud gaming, they got to build up the player base, and they got to do something like this, which you're seeing on the screen. They got to build up pipelines and other realms of technology, so when games come over, they play just as well, if not better, on Stadia. What am I talking about? Well, Stadia unleashed, and confidently, like my brother Project Storm was talking to, in such a confident fashion, you don't see nobody else doing. Nobody. This is how confident they are of their tech.
Right.
You can't touch this. But we're going to show you what we're doing. As many of us has attested to, my tweet reads, see the attached for a great read. Along with the AI and machine learning components, you have the pipeline caches, which in Stadia's case uses previous sessions to make vast improvements by using prior game sessions. And there's a whole article to it. I'm not going to read the whole article. We'll leave a link to it in the chat once we get past this part. But I just want to read this part, Storm, and then get your thoughts. Now, We should now. Here's what they use. They use a methodology called pipeline caches. Now, what that is as elements are in a game, like say you come across the monster, all the data related to that monster in the game has the potential of bogging down the performance. So Vulkan, and I don't know if this is exclusive to Vulkan, we'll get into that a little bit, but Vulkan uses something called pipelines to help distribute that data to try to deal with bog down. Well, what has also been developed and been utilized from developers like Ubisoft, we saw in the Ubisoft presentation that was pointed out. Shout out to RJ, who was one of the main proponents of people out there on Twitter shouting this out. Shout out to him, give him his flowers now. There's something called pipeline caches that helps. I mean, I'm not going to try to speak on super technical terms because I'm going to sound like an idiot. But what it basically does from a high level is it better distributes those resources and that data. So when that monster pops up, instead of things taking, like they say, 100 milliseconds to load, it takes, well, no. I'm getting ahead of myself. So it cuts down on jank. And they give you an example of how Ubisoft did it. Well, there's an additional thing that Stadia does to where they take those pipeline caches and they multiply or they realign themselves depending upon older gameplay. That makes Stadia's implementation of this even better. I'm going to read you a little bit of this on how this all works, according to Stadia. We solved this talking about, they call it jank and lag and whatever, and utilizing the pipelines to eliminate this. We solve this by building our systems to look more like a PC, but with a distributed pipeline cache directory. When players encounter a pipeline that needs to be compiled at runtime, we'll try to collect some source data for those pipelines at the end of the session. As many of these pipelines are dynamically generated, meaning they come into play as the monster again pops up and you got to deal with the monster and it has the potential of bogging down your gameplay. It says they're dynamically generated. We set up several differential privacy systems to merge only pipelines that are identical across users and automatically delete those that aren't. So they're reallocating the pipelines to where they need to be for better efficiency based off of older gameplay. These pipelines are later merged while employing differential privacy and ensuring game stability with pipelines provided by the developer, and the new augmented pipeline caches are developed back into the fleet. So therefore, in layman's term, the next time any player runs into the same scenario, they won't experience the same graphical stutter on long load times. This effectively leverages the compute power of users playing games on Stadia to provide savings to users who follow. As time goes on, we'll be able to eliminate graphical stutters from pipeline compilations altogether, thanks to users playing our games in the cloud. Storm.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
What
gosh.
are your thoughts? Go fan yourself off for brother, because that gives me chills. What are your thoughts on all this, brother? Give us your thoughts on this.
Let me take a little bit of time, y'all. Then I pass it back to you. So, because people at some point gonna want me to shut the hell up when I break this down, man. It's gonna be some kind of my own thought, speculation, and all that stuff. But some of this stuff might make sense to you. So, what I'm hearing here is, this is what I'm hearing immediately. This is how Storm, my brain functions like this. So I'm thinking of games like Doom Eternal when I was out here screaming, "Yo, man, there's something going on with the texturing and all that stuff." Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I'm showing it live on stream. Even I'm putting Doom Eternal on Stadia up against the Series X version of the game with a new update and all that stuff. And I'm saying, like, yo, something's going on here, man. It's real janky. There's some weird texturing going on and all this stuff, man. But I knew it was something they could iron out. But then I go back to Outriders, and I'm thinking, damn, Outriders, man. Yo, it's just something weird. Like, there's some kind of texturing going on. When you load into the city, me and MM2K talking about it, we're both talking about it real heavy. You load into the city, and all of a sudden, it gets just this weird jankiness. And that's what we were calling it. So it's funny to hear them call it jank.
Yep.
And when we've been referring to it as janky. All right. Then we go on to, another game. And I don't know if it has something to do with control. I'm not saying these are the issues, y'all, but when you think about it after what MM2K just read, it kind of puts my mind at ease, knowing that what these developers and publishers could be trying to figure out is how to properly implement and how to reduce issues that you see that could be contributed, attributed to or whatever from
Yep.
like these pipeline issues and stuff that we're talking about right here. Like, so basically, what I'm learning is that they're missing basically missing pipelines or whatever. Like there's
Yep.
something going on with the pipelines that's
That's a
causing
good
like
point.
cash miss. So it's pipeline cash misses or whatever. I can't even say
Yep.
this because I'm thinking about it so much, bro. I'm thinking about it as I'm thinking about all the times I'm seeing this across not just games on Stadia, but
Hmm.
games anywhere. Like I just
Exactly.
played the Ascent. I just talked about the Ascent, and I saw some of this stuff on PC yesterday. I saw it on PC with my RTX 3080. The same things that we see over here on Stadia. I saw it on the PC version of Outriders. I saw some of that going on PC. So it's not a Stadia thing. It's not a
Yep.
Stadia specific thing. It's a game developer learning thing, kind of. It's kind of like Stadia. Now we see why Stadia is out here reaching their hand out to help them. Like, look, the communication seems to be so tight between Stadia and these developers when it comes to just offering support or whatever. So much to the point where Stadia just admitted that, look, man, we could do better in helping y'all get y'all games on the platform or whatever, to reduce some friction and headaches and all that stuff. We are willing to do this. Now, we just talked about how well Stadia works in the cloud. We're seeing things like this. MM2K, I don't even think y'all understand where my mind is going right now. So what? So pipelines, y'all. I wasn't
Hmm.
using terms like pipelines and stuff. I was using texturing and stuff like that, texture streaming. But now this all makes it make more sense to me that a company like a Ubisoft, who we
Hmm.
know has just, they seem to be perfecting Stadia. EA comes out here. Remember when I said MM? I said the big publishers will have better performing games in most cases on Stadia because they have the know-how, they had the manpower, all of that stuff. They have the money, the deep
Yep.
pockets to be able to afford the best of the best when it comes to developing of their games. Now, of course, they can still put out bad games too, of course. But you see where I'm going with this, man? So now we have this out here, and then you see Vulkan down there and everything. And we heard about Vulkan, the integration of Vulkan in Stadia that's gonna allow ray tracing at some point. It all comes together for me. I don't know. It blows my mind, bro. So I'm passing it back to you real quick. With all that being said, can you understand where I'm trying to come from, bro?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we see, like you said, things with issues with Outriders, for instance, that very well could be because their implementation of the pipeline process ain't there. I mean, because people are playing a lot of Outriders.
Right.
And why aren't we seeing similar improvements? Like it requires too much for there to be a patch from Outriders, which is
Right, man.
proved,
It could
which
be a
is
headache. If the
yes,
developers don't have that formula like Ubisoft that Vulcan kept
exactly.
talking about, they kept praising Ubisoft, saying
Hmm.
Ubisoft figured out how to do this with their pipelines. And now you are breaking it down via this article, this information that we found here. And then now we're knowing that a game is made up of many kinds of files, movies, audio, the game binary itself, textures. Some of us probably already knew these things. We look at game files and stuff on PC and we know this, right?
Yep.
But bro, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone, man, because I could kind of see what's going on here, and the those who have that formula, like say an Epic or whatever. I'm just thinking, y'all, like Epic might have, they got the Unreal Engine 5 and all that stuff. That seems to be is one of the greatest engines. The Unreal Engine period is one of the greatest engines in gaming.
Hmm.
Unity and all that stuff, man. So it's making me think about all this now, bro. But I
Yep.
knew I was onto something when I was saying, like, yo, there's something weird going on, man. It seems like it's not in all games. Remember, I kept saying it's not in all games, MM2K. It's just
Hmm.
certain games. And Doom Eternal didn't do that, but after an update, it started doing that. So, but they were able
Hmm.
to fix it. It's
Yep.
about the know-how, man, I guess.
Yep. Let me do this. We're gonna open up the phone lines now, y'all. So let me send this out to everybody know that the phone lines are officially open. The phone lines are officially open. If you want to call in and give us your thoughts on all this, give us a call 724-739-3612. Again, 724 phone lines are open. Let me put phone lines are open. 724 739-3612. Give us a call. Hold up. Messed that up. Let's delete that. 724-739-3612. Phone lines are open. All right, so let's do it. Phone lines open. Give us a call. Give us your thoughts on all this. I will say this in regards to the whole pipeline thing. Oh, we got a phone call already.
There it is.
Hello, you are live with Project Storm M2K. Who is it that we're talking to? Our good friend.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's good, y'all? Y'all know who it is.
Okay, Stadia Rev. What's going on, brother?
In the house.
You know, I'm just out here chilling, man, listening to the podcast, watching MLW on YouTube, and cleaning the house at the same time, you know, and listening how y'all out here burning these doggone biscuits out here, man. I told y'all got to take them off the grill before they get burnt, yo.
Yeah. I'm leaving them on there. I like them crispy.
He said crispy crunch. Hell yeah, man.
Crispy, you know what I'm saying? You could just crunch them up and turn them into a stew or something. Like, some real stuff, man. Oh man, God, this show is awesome. So, yeah. So what's on my mind is, how we gonna overcome the negative confirmation bias that people have that propels them, that compels them to only look for that negative information and only use that as a way of, signaling the end, like, the end is nigh, like in the Watchmen or something.
Right.
Right.
This whole thing is like, it's something I put in the chat earlier, but it's just like when you get the positive news and stuff like that out there like that, a lot of these people are quiet, or they don't tweet it out, they don't retweet it, they don't put that information out like that, and or they try to downplay it and say that it's nothing, But when the negative, or they say it's too early to tell, we have to wait and see what happens, because we don't know, they may be shutting it down, but whatever, right? So then when the negative, or something that could be perceived as negative, or that you can twist it and construe as negative, comes out, oh, that's a definite, and that is completely true, and everything that they said is 100% accurate, and they're being authentic, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and this means that they're gonna shut it down, and everything is just, this is why we left Stadia, it's just like, come on, man, stop it. The emperor has no clothes, and y'all people, I just feel like people really need to just take a step back when it comes to that, like, the rhetoric, stop it, like, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
This platform isn't going anywhere.
Right.
It ain't going nowhere. And I've been saying this since since last year. Y'all know what happened, is that
yes, sir.
They have been constantly working on this on the platform, and they're going to constantly keep working on the platform. And so that only means that it's going to get better. And then when you see the dev tools that they're coming out with, the revenue sharing that they're coming out with, the fact that they're working with ISPs, to optimize their internet for Stadia usage. They have Wi-Fi connect. They have Wi-Fi routers that specifically route your internet to make your gameplay experience better for Stadia.
Yes.
Through Google Home and stuff like that. The things that they're doing to make this thing, to make it even more able to integrate into your home, with all the stuff that they're doing with the endpoints that we talked about, all of the stuff that they're doing, and they just ignore that and say, that's nothing,
Right.
But man, this guy said something negative about Stadia, that means it's doomed. Like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, let me jump in and say this real quick, Brad. In order to comprehend some of the nonsense that we're talking about here, you must get into the mindset of the hater. Let me tell y'all a story real quick.
I can't. I don't understand the mindset of the hater. I couldn't do it.
One day the hater heard about this thing called Stadia. See, the hater had already known about OnLive, and the hater took that as, everything cloud gaming is going to fail in the future. Listen. So then out comes Stadia. The hater sees this as an opportunity to really, to discover cloud gaming, get to learn the technology behind it and all that stuff. So the hater gets his or her hands on the controller, and then learns that Stadia is awesome, great, magnificent, right? When it comes to the performance, right? Best in class. So then the hater realizes that this thing is backed by Google. Google says we're focused on bringing Stadia to more territories and doing all these things, like you said, these endpoints, focusing on all that. We don't have time to cater to the hater right now. The hater gets mad. Hater says, F that. You don't want to pay attention to me. I'm out. There's other services like xCloud and all this stuff. I'm out. I'm going over there. So then the hater realizes that going over to Island B is not better than Stadia Island. Right, so you hear the haters talk about Stadia Island sometimes too, right? So Stadia Island is popping over there, man. Hey, Stadia Island is popping over here, man. I mean, bro, listen, man. I call it like it is. I call it like it is because this stuff is public knowledge, man. If it's public, like, you don't need to go to the library. It's right on social media. And all that. So here, I'm trying to help y'all understand in case you didn't understand, because I just helped myself. So look, so Stadia's over here. So all of a sudden you realize that Stadia is the GOAT. Damn, we can't have that. I left Stadia Island. I can't come back. What else am I going to do? Try to drag the platform. So this is why, Rev, this is happening. It's going to continue to happen. And it's going to be ammunition for us to address, because that's what we're going to do, because we're not afraid of the haters. Definitely when we're on Stadia Island. Now, if I was over here... Hey, Rev, if I was by myself, I might be a little afraid. If I didn't have my cell phone, I can't call you, MM2K, and others in the Stadia community on Stadia Island. I would be frightened. But I'm not scared, because we still got those right here that always believe from the beginning until the end. That won't come, by the way, because cloud gaming is the future, and we know that. So, man, I just feel like that's why we're going to continue to do what we say.
Slow down. You mentioned something, and I just want to just say something about that. You mentioned OnLive, like in the very beginning of what you just said, your geopolitical diatribe that you just went on, which is awesome, by the way. But you mentioned OnLive, and that's the thing. OnLive didn't fail because of its technology. It didn't fail because it was just a little bit ahead of its time. OnLive failed because of the ego of the person that brought it out.
Thank you. Yes.
That was the thing that doomed OnLive.
He killed it.
It wasn't the fact that it wasn't the fact that it didn't run well or anything like that. The internet wasn't ready for it. So it was a little bit ahead of its time. Yeah. But it wasn't because of that it went away. It went away because the person in charge of it was an idiot. And that's it. Yeah. And since the dawn of the internet, mostly that for the public consumption, Google has been around. Google has been there, and they've been rated like the best place to work. They've come up with all kinds of different products that we use daily, and we don't really want to live without, like Gmail and stuff like that. And they've made headway in a lot of different areas, and now they're getting into a larger scope of things, right? And being part of your home entertainment and all of that. So do you think that a company like this that worth over $1 trillion is going to sit there and do something and do all of this stuff just to say, we're going to pull a plug on this tomorrow?
Exactly.
I mean, they're baking Stadia into too many different things for it to just be like on a whim. You know what? That Stadia thing, fuck it. So I'm just saying. I mean, they're just like, again, the second half. We're into the second half of this year, right? Starting tomorrow, we're at the last day of the first half. We're going to be on the first day of the second half. We're kicking that off with the Revolutionary Storm. Y'all better be there 11 o'clock Eastern time, right?
Yes.
We're kicking off the second half, and in the second half of this, going by 2020, the second half of 2020 was amazing for Stadia, right? So I'm not saying it may be on that level again, but I just can't see them just taking the foot off the gas for everything that they're doing right now.
Right. They already put the setup has already happened, Rev. So I know you want to chime in, man. Right. So
no, I'm listening because you guys are making so much sense and I'm loving it. But the other thing about it too is we got to remember. I think Rev hit something right on the nail. You gotta chop this up and look at it in sections. When you compare this portion of 2021 to the same portion of 2020, there's no comparison. the games that we got now and the experience that we have right now quadruples the experience that we got. Remember, there was Mayday, we ain't heard from Stadia in 60 days, Mayday. You know what I'm saying? To where,
remember that January last year?
Exactly. We got Shock out there killing
40 days. It was like, oh my God, they've been silent. Like, not mentioning the fact that they went on a holiday vacation.
Yeah,
they did all of that, which they said they were going to do, and then they took, I guess they took just a little bit too long coming back in January, and then they dropped that mega bomb of, hey, we got this many games coming out. This is what we're going to be doing. This and the other. The only thing that derailed that was COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only thing that happened that derailed their first half plans and all the stuff. But they ended the year on a bang. I'm just saying.
But still, if you look at 2020, even though we enjoyed it, but if you look at 2021, because whenever you look at things from a market perspective, which is critical at looking at Stadia right now from a market perspective, because that's how they're building this platform. They're building this platform slowly but surely, but to have some serious market effects. This is the building phase. When you look at it from a market perspective, year over year, if you look at this July from last July, no question, 20 times better.
But we did get the amazing. Hey. We did get the amazing Orcs Must Die 3 from July of last year. July 14th. So let's give Orcs Must Die its flowers, because guess what's happening now? Guess what's happening now with that game? People are getting it on different platforms now, and they are loving it, because even PC Gamer had to say no, but it's free from the shackles of Stadia.
Shout out to Orcs
you gotta
Must
love
Die.
those guys.
So shout out to
PC Gamer. But they love the game though, right?
But shout out to them. But
we got that last year.
But still, this July opposed to last July. Remember, and July was the infamous MM2K had to apologize to realize he was wrong, because I was slapping cabinets live on air over that Kinect. Remember that?
You talking about the Kinect thing?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now,
yeah. See, you and me differ on that. I actually liked the Kinect from July of last year. The only thing I didn't like it wasn't as big as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then because of the Kinect rumors from spring and April of that year, they kind of hinted that, hey, there's going to be some stuff happening, and then it didn't happen exactly that way. And then in that one, they said in the July when they said that there was going to be a fall Connect. That never happened. We got the Good Stuff campaign.
Yep.
And they haven't had a Connect.
And there was the rumors.
It's been over a year.
But the biggest problem, Rav, was the rumors. Apex Legends was coming, and this was coming, and you was going to get a $500 gift certificate. All this crazy stuff that they said was going on.
I don't know about the $500 gift certificate, but that Apex thing was not Stadia's fault. Yeah,
no.
That was on EA.
And that's the point that I'm making, is that they kept doubling down on stuff. We were, as content creators, when I say they, that Stadia never confirmed. But if you look at each month from this year, from last year, considerably better. So we're in the summer, and we're about to hit August. I mean, September, October, November. You know when it's going to get hot. You know what I mean? So
holiday shopping season, of course.
You got to look at it that way.
And you think that they didn't come? You think they didn't put out that new Chromecast with Google TV and controller bundle out at this time for no reason?
Exactly, for nothing on it.
Oh,
exactly.
Man.
Come on, man.
The haters
you
can't
think they
connect
didn't
those dots.
discount the Premier Edition permanently for a reason?
They can't connect that.
Come on, man.
Yep.
They're putting themselves in a position to go hard in the second half, because what else is happening in the second half of this year? What else is happening? We know from earlier this year that they're going to be they're going to be having the Stadia app on different TVs natively.
Yeah. Right, bro.
Just coming out preloaded into the TV already. So who do you think they're going after? They're going after the people that's not even looking at gaming. They're not even looking at Stadia. They're not looking at anything. They're just saying, hey, what's this app? And I discovered Voodoo that way, right? I was just moving, just navigating my 3D Blu-ray player, right? And I saw Voodoo. I'm like, what is this Voodoo thing? I keep seeing it on my apps, and so I just clicked on it. And what did I find in there? all of my digital copies of all the movies that I had. I redeemed for digital copies, and all of a sudden I'm looking at, wait a minute, I could buy movies from the digital copy. I could just buy it straight out. Oh, this is it. Man, I connected that thing to every movie service that it could connect to, and I'm using it. I use that thing every single day now. I love Vudu now. You know what I'm saying? And I just saw it randomly in my on my Blu-ray player app, but it's on my TV in my living room. It's on the TV in my bedroom. It's on my phone. It's everywhere now. And that's just that. So think about that when you come to like the super casual, not even thinking about gaming player that's out there, a part of that billion player base that's out there that see the Stadia app and you just keep seeing it. Like, wait a minute, I'm gonna check this out. Like, oh man, I could connect my PlayStation controller. I got one of those laying around somewhere. Oh man, I could play this for free. Yep. Come on, man. Yeah. They are going for that. They're going to put Stadia in front of as many eyeballs as possible, and I don't understand why people are not seeing this. They're not seeing the chess pieces moving on the board.
They don't want to see it. Yeah. They don't want to see it. So, yep. But hey, Rev, thank you for calling in, good brother. Thank you so much for dropping the dimes. Again, everybody, be ready for Revolutionary Storm tomorrow. It's going to be a hell of a show. Y'all definitely don't want to miss it, man.
Man, but wait. I got to say one more thing before I go, and then I'm out of here. We are burning these biscuits, and we're gonna be continuing to burn them tomorrow, because not only is Storm Shadama about to break some stuff down, but y'all gonna get steamrolled by the most devastating letters in all of the Stadia community, and that's R-E-D. Shout out to Randy Orton. Y'all have a good one.
All right, man. Have a good one, brother. Can't wait till tomorrow's show, man. Have a great one.
Later.
Peace. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a show tomorrow, man. Yeah, and Red with his wrestling promo, I can dig it, man. Yeah, I mean, Storm, to answer Rev's question real quick, I think what has happened is, and this is why I always shout out Donnie from PSVNG and all those guys. PSVNG, as you guys all know, is a network that they cover all things gaming, right? They cover consoles, PC, everything. Great network, right? Shout out to them. PNTS is working to be what they are now, right? And some. With that being said, they first were on the Stadia hype train. They said, this is great stuff. We're interested in the tech. This is going to be fantastic. Because they, too, Storm, were expecting Stadia to be one that's coming out like Dreamcast to fight Xbox and PlayStation, get all the games right now, and Google just uses this war chest to bring everything over immediately. That's what they thought too. I mean, there was also some things about the 4K. They was like, well, the 4K really ain't 4K. There was some premier platform things that they had expectancies on, but they thought it was just going to be in the cloud, and it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. So guess what they did? They just packed up their bags and they rolled. They said, okay, well, look, we don't really believe in this platform all like that. It's not for us because it's not what we expected. We're going to go back to our other content in our other communities. Bye. Have a best of luck to you, Stadia community. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? It was never really any animosity or anything. I mean, they may have had their own negative inclinations about whether they like the platform or not, but it was never no Stadia hate, Stadia assault. And these are people that left the platform. You never got that from them. Fast forward now to others who may feel the same way, but never quote unquote left. Why? Because they ain't got nowhere else to go, Storm. They ain't got no other community they belong to. They ain't got nowhere else where they can get attention. I was disappointed with Xbox, and I talked about it for a couple of years because I had nowhere else to go. I was an Xbox content creator. I only gamed on Xbox at the time. PlayStation didn't appeal to me. I had nowhere else to go. So all I did is sat there and talked about Xbox and spread my misery about Xbox until I found somewhere to go. First it was PC. Then I was getting into PlayStation a little bit. And then finally Stadia. Now when Xbox is brought up, I talk about it, but you don't see me doing Xbox content anymore because I had somewhere to go. What people got to realize is that a lot of these people that are in the canoe, they feel like they have nowhere else to go. Because if they were truly happy elsewhere, Why continue to talk about Stadia at the rate that you're talking about it? They have nowhere else to go. We got another phone call. Hello, you're live with Project Storm MM2K. Who is it that we're talking to, our good friend?
What's up, MM2K Project Storm? It's your boy, Ross Slush.
Ross Slush!
That's what's up, man.
What's going on, brother? I ain't even gonna say that. Drop the jewels on us, brother. What you got for us this week?
First off, props to you guys on the show. Good show.
Thank you.
Content creators doing good. Appreciate it. I want to thank you, MM2K.
What I did?
I want to thank you. I went back and I watched the Number Show earlier this week.
Oh, word.
Episode of the Number Show. Yes, and you and Jack were talking about Sniper Elite 4.
Yeah,
one of the most played games on Stadia. So I peeped it out. And it's good, man. It's really good.
Yeah.
I had no idea. But
yes. Whoa. I'm glad we could be of service to you, good brother, at least on that round, man. But yeah, I love those games. What's the name of that? Ron, what's the name of the company that make the Sniper Elite and Zombie Army? What's the name of it? I forget the name.
Damn. Rebellion.
Yes.
Rebellion, yeah.
I like Rebellion's games. And they made that other game too. What was that other game where you're like, it's like Indiana Jones, like,
Yeah, I forgot, but I know they do.
It's
Sniper
on Stadia
Elite
too, I think.
And yeah, you got the something Zombie Army trilogy. They do all the Zombie Army games and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
Zombie Army 4, Dead War or something. Yeah,
it was another game. That's it. But Ron, what's your thoughts, brother, on all this craziness that happened this week? I mean, we got Stadia Tech being
you're talking about hold on, MM. You're talking about the one with the African chick.
Strange Brigade.
Strange Brigade.
Strange Brigade. I love all their games. I love their games.
Yeah.
I think they're good. And as a matter of let me not say that. I'm gonna shut my mouth. But Ron, what do you think about all this stuff going on? The Stadia Tech being revealed, control port. I know we talked about this, I think, last week. You looked at it on GFN, possibly, maybe not. And let's talk about this high-end PC thing. Let's tap into that. What are your thoughts on any of this, man?
Well, let's start with the pipeline thing. I think that just showed you, man, that Stadia's confident. They're basically saying, this is what we do. This is how we do it. I mean, if you think you can do better, go for it. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the sound of like a confident company who believes in what they do. And
absolutely.
And I don't, like I said before, I don't know if any of these companies can mimic it. Maybe Luna.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been dabbling in a lot of Luna lately, but when I take Luna, I mean, I can't take it on the go right now. I mean, and you're limited to, PC and a Fire Stick TV. But, I mean, that just shows you the confidence that they have in this tech. And like you guys kind of pointed out earlier with Stadia Rev, they're just gearing up for a strong finish to this year.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at last year, they didn't announce Cyberpunk, day and date till very late. So, I mean, I'm expecting some kind of surprise. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's GTA 5. I mean, we've heard rumors of it throughout the year, little listings and little ratings. So, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me if that, falls into the, holiday season with a bang. So,
well, that's interesting.
Other than
Ron,
that, I mean,
I'm thinking, games like GTA 5, games like Destiny 2 that's about to get crossplay. Crossplay just slapped me for some reason, so I had to bring it up. Like, you got to think about some of these games coming out at later times. You have to think that they could be probably implementing crossplay right from the get-go. We saw the shift, the focus seemed to have shifted on crossplay, like Stadia understanding that crossplay is vital. They've already said it a long time ago, for one, so they knew this already, right? It's nothing new. But imagine all the games that might be having cross-play support, like a Battlefield, that developers might have to say, we want to implement cross-play from the rip. We don't want to announce anything yet, but we're gonna hit y'all with that fall surprise, man. Battlefield, Grand Theft Auto, and all this, right? I mean, I'm even if it's not these games, 2K, all of that stuff, surprise announcements. Even if it's not them, we're gonna get some. We know we're gonna get some bangers out here, y'all. We know this already, because it's just too many games left that's unannounced, and you have to assume that some of those are gonna be AAA bangers, right? Now, I'm just thinking about this after Rev called in, and now that Ron's on here. Holiday season 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, consoles are hot. They're still in short supply, though. But you know what we've been doing here at Stadia? We've been putting together these bundles for y'all. Just think about this for a minute. Bundle here, bundle there. LG TV integration right now. For all you new LG owners, try Stadia for free right now, 6-month trial. Bang!
Yep.
You don't have to pay for 6 months. Like, can y'all see something like this happening, fellas?
Yep.
That's on the small end of the spectrum, though. Can y'all see something like that going into this holiday?
Yeah, I definitely see it, brother. I mean, because look, they've already got a bundle. We kind of had it in the title, but they've already got a bundle that's being promoted right now, where you can get the Stadia controller and the Google TV and get like $30 off USD. So they're already doing it. They're gearing up for something, Storm. Something feels like it's in the air and it's coming towards the end of the year, like it did last year, and they're gearing up for something.
Right. It would just be a smart move for them to start doing more of that, like with all these endpoints that we talk about. It's all fitting together now, y'all. It's becoming so clear. Like I've already said some of this stuff, and I've kind of known it. Some things I guess at a little bit, but we know that Stadia is going to go hard the second half of this year, man. Like we know that they held some cards because this is what Stadia have been known to do. They're smart. They stealth drop things, even though some people are like, kill the stealth drops, please, for the love of all gaming gods, kill the stealth drops. And I'm like, man, get the hell out of here. You see how much excitement Control generated, for example? You see how much excitement Cyberpunk generated when you find out how much excitement Resident Evil Village generated to get all these people talking Stadia on social media? Man, y'all better get the hell out of my face, man. I'm passing it back over to Ron Slusher, and then I'm going to the chat because Chicken Man Gaming is back, man. Joshua Champagne is up in the building as well, saying, "Yeah, buddy." So y'all, this is why you get excited for Stadia. Even if you are a hater, you can smile. It's okay to smile at some of the moves that Stadia is making, man. Best in class, world class technology. They got that check. That's in the bag. Backed by Google, check. That's in the bag. Infrastructure out the wazoo to compete with AWS and Azure and all that. Check. That's in the bag. All they got to do is just say, here's Stadia, y'all. You already have it. We're going to announce the holiday commercial campaign. Google Stadia, fa la 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 la, Stadia. Yo, y'all better stop playing Google. Get me on the A. Just get me in the DM or something. And your boy got some ideas. Let's go.
So, Ron.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
yes, sir.
What do you have a Google TV yet, or you just you play?
I have a regular ass $20 on TV from Walmart.
I got. Okay. Have you tried Stadia on that?
It runs flawlessly, man. Woo! I got Outriders playing in the background here. And I think it's running nice. I think we're getting close.
Yeah,
it's getting close where we can, give it that green light. And we can, we're getting closer.
Yes,
we're not quite there yet, but it's about to happen, and probably a patch or two away.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So stand by. Just keep an eye out.
It's getting there, bro. But it's getting there. Yeah. Yep. Because I tried it. Because Storm had me try it out the other day, and it was fun, man. So yeah, brother, it's going to be a great year, I think. I think we're just seeing the fruits of that starting to rev up right now. We got to remember that Google just gave, or Alphabet, the parent company, just gave the authorization to double down on the platform this year. Like the closure of SG&E, this is all different. The closure of SG&E was to have, to say, okay, look, we're going to start working towards trying to help people get games over here faster. You know what I'm saying?
Smart.
And
Smart stuff.
you know what I'm saying? And we're going to have them and make sure that the games perform better. So they closed down SG&E, use those resources to invest in more techs and people and that stuff doing that. But then after the fact, Alphabet then again said we're going to double down on the devs, and it seemed like they got a whole new marketing strategy, all that stuff. And this is something new. So this all just started recently. And normally it takes a few months for things like this to really burst out the seams. But they're doing their jobs and trying to keep us informed at a steady pace more than they ever have, because we had things like the keynote. And really the keynote wasn't for us, but it was for us. And they're working with the devs to get things better. So, I mean, I'm anticipating a crazy end of the year, man. I mean, do you feel the same way? Or what are your thoughts on this year? You think it's not going to get explosive until next year? What are your thoughts?
I think Google's going to make a big move this year, but I think we need to watch out for Luna, man.
Oh, okay.
Luna's not messing around. They got a non-latency controller.
Yeah.
Just
They got
like
new
Stadia.
world.
They got big.
new world.
They got big reach.
Yeah.
They got their own in-house studio making games.
Yeah.
Which Stadia doesn't, and they got Twitch, which can match YouTube.
Oh,
So they can go punch for punch.
Yeah.
With Stadia.
Yep.
The only thing is, the price of admission for Luna is $5.99 right now in beta, but they already said it's going to go up once it comes out of beta. More than likely, I think it'll be bundled with Prime for $15.99. That would be the smart move. So I mean, then you got to ask yourself, if I'm dropping $15 a month, is it worth it on here?
They said no, they're not. They said I read somewhere. Now again, plans can change. But they said, they said, Ron, that they're not going to, they have no plans to bundle Luna with Prime at all. So that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe it's a lot easier, correct me if I'm wrong, to bring games over to Luna because of the Windows technology.
Yeah.
But I mean, I even see the flaws in it. I mean, I still get, little, what do you call that, buffering when the screen kind of gets pixelated during some of the 2D games run fine, but like a Ghost Runner or a Rainbow Six, you might get that pixelation and
right, which lets us know, Ron, that the technology is just not on the level of Stadia. Even at 720p, go resolution for resolution, and Stadia does not. You must be in a tunnel. Well, I'm gonna say this. Let me just stop, man. Cause see, my experience is so good, I forget that I'm not the only one playing Stadia. Damn. Let me back up, man. I haven't seen pixelation, y'all, in so long. I'm talking about when my connection, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I still had a Cat 4 cable or something, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to run Stadia. So look. So here's the thing, right? I haven't seen pixelation in so long, but when I go back to xCloud, GeForce Now, and Luna, right, I do see it, Ron. So I know what you're talking about. It is there. So even if I go to 720p on Stadia, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Now I know I have a fast connection, but I've also tried on my Wi-Fi and all that stuff, and I have a phone now with 5G that I have yet to try. I haven't even tried 5G yet, and I'm paying for it. I need to do that today, but it's like Stadia's quality is crazy, and they know this, and they talk about it all the time. Like they know what to pitch, how to pitch. That's a major selling point for Stadia when it comes to partners and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, man. Like also xCloud. I mean, I found it to run better on the app on a tablet rather than through the browser. There's a little bit less pixelation, but I mean, at that point, I mean, if you want to play Xbox games, you might as well just buy a damn Xbox. You know what I mean?
That is a fact.
Don't waste your time in the cloud.
Right. I mean, and they know, and all these tests are coming out now with the Stadia's performance. Like the milliseconds is just crazy on Stadia versus xCloud. xCloud is lagging behind. Literally lagging behind, right? So now there's times when xCloud is good. Don't get me wrong, it is good. It's times when it's great.
Oh yeah,
but it's just not Stadia, and that's the point we're trying to make here. That's the point people don't understand, but they'll understand it once they get their hands on it. when they realize this is another holiday season and I still can't get a PS5 or Series X, man, you know what? I don't want to build a PC. I don't want to get the Steam Deck. I need to play these games. All Stadia got to do is 2K. Battlefield is here. We told y'all. We do big things over here on Stadia, and somebody will sign up in droves, man. Somebody's going to sign up in droves.
You already got a Steam Deck. You just need GFN and a key Razer Kishi controller, and you're good.
Right. Now, if they announce Battlefield all early and stuff right now, people might know it's coming, but sometimes that stuff gets swept under the carpet. Y'all know how it goes. You forget the games are coming. Like, we forget games are coming to Stadia. And then all of a sudden, one of these sites, these websites or whatever, say, such and such coming to Stadia next week. And then we're like, oh, man, that's right. And then we start talking about it again. So, you know, I think Stadia can afford to wait a little bit and say not too long now because, you know, but see, and then again, y'all, they don't have to worry about pre-orders and stuff and shipping and all that. So they can kind of take their time. They can gamble and release these announcements closer to the release window, because they could just drop the game on your head. You don't have to worry about driving to the store to go get it, and all that stuff is right there.
Yep. I totally agree. I totally agree. So Ron, anything else, man? What are your thoughts? Because we're gonna hop on this next after this call, but we want to get your thoughts while we got you on the phone. What is your thoughts, man, about this whole high-end PC thing starting to get banned? I guess to conserve energy. What does that say for Stadia and cloud gaming? What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's silly. I don't know too much about it, but I can only imagine it just helps Stadia because, I mean, let's be real. Without this pandemic, you know, this pandemic actually, you know, helped Stadia.
It did.
You know, kind of pushed the delay in for everybody, and you know, Stadia just kind of hopped right in and you know was taking advantage. But I think that's just another, you know, avenue that opens the door for Stadia to go, you know, running through and reaching out to more people. Like, hey, you don't got to worry about no computer chips or specs of building a computer. You can just game right now. It's $3.99. You just need a YouTube account. You can be playing Destiny right now and Bomberman or Hitman or whatever for free. You know, so I mean, it's just another, you know, an opening for Stadia to take advantage of, I think.
Yep, I totally agree, brother. Well, hey, Ron, we appreciate having you call as always, man. We're gonna hit you up behind the scenes. Me and Storm. Hey, look, I don't know if you remember that episode or not episode, but I don't know if you ever saw the first Borat, where at the end Borat is meeting who is he meeting? Pam Anderson, and he's like trying to get her autograph, and out of nowhere he pulls out this big ass potato sack and throws her in it and tries to kidnap her. Hey Ron, we got some things lined up for you, brother. We gonna have to. Hey Ron, let's go have a hamburger, man. We gonna take that potato sack out and take you with us, man.
He's still here. Ron's still here.
Wherever
he's
you
just
need
gonna be
me,
on PNTS
I'll
Network
be there.
show.
Exactly.
That's what's up, Ron.
But shout out, Ron. Hey, shout out to you, good brother, and thank you so much for calling, dropping gems as usual. Got a call next week too, brother.
All right, fellas.
All right, have a great one, man.
All right.
Man, what a thought-provoking show today, man.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm talking about, like, it don't have to be the most fiery at all times. I mean, 2K to be thought-provoking, man.
Exactly. Yep. We're going to suspend phone calls just for a second because I do want, like, I'm captivated by this whole thing. And if we could talk about it real quick, Storm, I know we're kind of like over, but if we could get everybody's thoughts on this, because this does affect cloud gaming in a very profound way. Right. You know how we do. Let me show you something. All right, we got it up on the screen, man. This is from Niche Gamer, Storm. I dropped it in the notes. I don't know if you can see the notes real quick, and I put the link in there. Yeah, yes, so you can pull it up too. But this is from Niche Gamer, and it talks about this whole thing with high-end PCs about to be banned. And it says here, U.S. states California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington have banned the sale of high-end. What? They've already banned them.
Oh wow.
They've banned the sale of high-end gaming PCs under a new energy bill. This is crazy. This is
Hold on.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Read that. I'm just thinking out loud. Go ahead, man. This is
The
my
California energy bill was written in 2017 and recently went into effect. This led to several U.S. states outside of California joining in, effectively banning high-end pre-built gaming PCs. Hold on. Is this?
So the pre-built, and this is why it's all breaking, y'all. It's all unfolding, man.
This is
like
crazy.
Shout out to Amanor for bringing it up again early in the show.
Yeah, shout out to Amanor, man. Thank you, Amanor.
So and like I said, I heard about it yesterday because Jay's 2 cents, big YouTuber, shout out to him. He broke his thoughts down on the whole thing, and it's not. There were some positives to the whole matter, so it's not like completely doom and gloom from what I understand. But man, hey, I could be wrong. This is crazy because now me, my main way to play is desktop PC.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking at first was that it was not going to affect PCs with like 3080s and higher in it and stuff like that. Like, those type of. Now, is it only going to be pre-built? I need to find this out. Is it only for pre-built PCs, or can you still build a PC yourself with the right components?
Well,
I don't know.
Let me continue to read this.
Because I remember they were talking like Jay's 2 cents was thinking that maybe you can get somebody from Las Vegas or whatever to ship you one to Cali or something like that and get around it. I don't know, man. This is crazy.
It says the state has recently published a paper looking into the power efficiency of compute gaming. They claim in their findings that computer gaming in California consumed 4.1 terawatt hours in 2016 and such and such and such. And so in spite of this, consoles were seemingly... Okay, they say they list consoles with taking a bulk of the emissions at 66%. And desktop computers at 31%. In spite of this, consoles are seemingly exempt from the bill. That could be for now.
Okay.
It says, as an answer to this, Dell has pulled the sale of 7 of its 8 Alienware. Damn, Dell had to pull
7 of its 8 Alienware gaming desktops from those states.
Oh man! It says this product cannot be shipped to the state. And no! And look. Hold on, whoa. And the other R12s, which are restricted on shipping, features one major component different, such as a 1 terabyte hard drive or a different graphics card. So maybe it's the bundled PCs altogether that are banned. But it says, the disclaimer reads, this product cannot be shipped to the states of California. So you can't have it built in another state and have it shipped. It's just that it can't be sold there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, there'll still be a game. You're just gonna have to, you got to figure out what you can and cannot get.
Here it goes. Here it goes right here. For now, you can still work around this by upgrading the PC after purchase, or build your own system entirely, which will have a guide in the next few days. But
and that's what I'm talking about.
Here's the kicker, Storm. Damn, this is nuts. Here's the kicker, Storm. A lot of people, because of the chip shortage, couldn't buy video cards.
That's true.
Separately. In order to get a decent video card, like the homie Kel, right? I think he went through this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had to go buy, he just said, F it. I need to upgrade my PC anyway. I'm going to buy a whole new PC. That was the only way he was able to get a 3000 series card. Right. That's a lot of these people are only able to get 3000 series cards.
I know some myself in real life.
I mean, so I know they're doing it because of to save the energy. But here's the thing, Storm. If they really trying to save the energy, if this ain't about, robbing Peter to pay Paul, why are you going after the high-end consumer electronic? I mean, let's keep it real. We're gamers here, and I hate to talk like this, but this is the truth. If you're really trying to cut down on consumption, why are you going after the 31%?
Well, but see, there's another part. I know there's another component to it with power supplies and stuff. I know that much. You got to use an 80 plus gold or something, whatever. I mean, it's just something we're going to look into We're gonna come back with updates on it after we figure it out, because I know that if you got the proper power supply unit in that bill, it's not saying all, like, the majority of PCs are gonna be banned and stuff like that. Now, and then other states, you look at it, there's still a whole lot of states, and yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Shout out to the homie Joshua Champagne. He said, MM2K said, golly. And he knows that it's a plus for Stadia since those PCs are getting back. Actually, yeah, I mean, for someone like my homie Ron Slusher, who got the $20 on TV thing, and he said he got like a little cheap Chromebook or whatever, it's cool for him. For somebody like myself, though, or Storm, this is bad, because me in particular, I play Stadia on my high-end PC. I revved up all my video card specs and stuff like that, so I can get my Stadia gameplay extra crispy. My brother Storm done the same thing. So this is, I mean, if this were to hit PA and where my brother Storm is at, this would be bad for us. What do you say, Storm?
Hey, it's something for me to continue to look into. That's all. That's it, man. I mean, with something like this, like I said, people are still going to be able to get their hands on those, the gaming PCs. They're just going to have to follow guidelines to do so. So I gotta see what the real impact is going to be, because right now everybody is weighing in on with their thoughts on the whole thing, and there's mixed reactions and stuff. So I got to go out there and dig a little deeper first before I could really comment on it. But crazy when you talk about the cloud, all of this stuff. But then again, oh man, hey, we gotta look at what this means for all of these companies and stuff too that's out here with these big these factories and these data centers and stuff like that, man. So to see if in the future, if that might be, it's something to think about with the state of the planet, man. That's all.
Yeah, definitely.
Got my eyes open on a lot of different things.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to be cognizant of that. But again, I think the question that you got to ask yourself is, I mean, we're gonna keep it real. I mean, we love video games, but there are bigger fish to fry at times. We love video games. We're gonna be honest about that. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and my kids are calling me, "Hey, Dad, help me! My life is in danger." No, let me finish this level of control. It's just video. You know what I'm saying? You gotta prioritize things like that. However, my question is, I think the real question should be, if you really want to save the planet, shouldn't you be looking at consoles?
Yeah, man, especially at 60-something%, man. I'm
61%.
thinking, I told you, I'm thinking about all of this, bro. And look, it's making me think about like the fact that the chip shortage that you just brought up too, man. This is gonna force people's hands in a lot of different ways, possibly over to the cloud, over to consoles, because if they can't get their hands on the specific models and stuff of GPUs, man, I don't know. This is a whole mess, bro. I'm leaving it alone. It's a mess.
I might have to do a video on it. I don't know where I'm going to, but the one last thing I'm gonna say, and then we can close up shop. And we'll do phone calls at another. Well, a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring up something too that that I think will make people happy. They list consoles with taking a bulk of emissions at 66%, and desktop computers at 31%. But here's the thing, Storm. They're talking about desktop computers altogether. They didn't specifically say high-end desktops, so we don't know how much energy high-end desktops in these areas are taking up. It could be only 5% because everybody ain't got a high-end desktop. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get that there are some energy conservation things that are taken into consideration, but again, you got to think about it. If you really want to save on energy, what you gonna do about these consoles?
Cloud, man. I'm telling you, the cloud. Man.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is worry about the TV you got in your home or whatever display or whatever, or your for your phone.
Yep.
All that, whatever. That is, it's crazy. It shakes things up. Now remember, again, it's not in all states, man. Other states are gonna be fine. They don't have no limitation, no restrictions. Yep. So, wow, though.
Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. But we get it. All right, with that, Storm, I think we're going to close up shop, man. Any final thoughts? Or if not, man, where can the good people find you, good brother?
Man, you can definitely find me here. Check us out tomorrow, myself and Stadia Red. We have a hell of a show coming. If you don't know by now, man, it's going to be something that we found that's eye-opening, of course. You can find me there here on my channel, Project Storm. I meant to drop the link, but we got too excited. But yeah, definitely check us out. The Revolutionary Storms happens at 11 a.m. every Sunday morning, right?
Yes,
here on the Eastern time. All right.
Yep.
So you can check us out there. You can also check me out on Twitter at the Nephiliac. And you can find me on all types of shows under the PNTS Network umbrella. Check out pntsnetwork.com for more details on a wide variety of content over there. And you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right. And with that said, you can find me here, MM2K. You can find me on Stadia Dosage. You can also find me over at the MM2K video channel, where we do the commission and we do rock out and talk out with MM2K. You can also find Stadia Dosage content now as well on Stadia Dosage streams and the new Stadia Dosage Plus over on Twitch for our Twitch subscribers and watchers and things like that. And we're looking at doing something new. We want to open up direct dialogue with people, those that are our biggest supporters and things like that. So I'm looking at the tiers the other day, Storm, and I'm like, for those that are the sure shot people, the top tier, just, we're giving them things, but we can give them more. So what I'm going to start doing come September 1st, what I'm going to start doing is we're going to have something called the Powwow channel, where MM2K is going to pop in there for all of our Sure Shot members, and we're going to talk it out because there's a lot of things that you guys send me. You guys get worked up or you're very happy in DMs about things that are happening in the community. And I know you guys want my thoughts and stuff like that. And then other people may join. They may join and join. Storm may hop in or Bunny may hop in, whatever the case may be. But it gives you an opportunity to have a little intimate, more discussion, via the Discord talk channel. So be on the lookout for that. Something we're going to start in September for our Sure Shot members. And then we're going to start doing more community-based town halls and stuff like that with our members. More stuff will be coming, but I just want to put everybody on the lookout for that. All right. With that said, Revolutionary Storm tomorrow is going to blow your mind. I believe there's going to be a
got the Yami Zhang of gaming.
Zhang.
I think at 2:00 we're supposed to be coming back. 2:00
Yep.
Eastern time. Me, Snow
Absolutely.
Bunny, and Rome Rush.
There will not be this number show for Stadia because what we got to do is we got to give the homie Jack Deslip time to compile all this information. And today is still in July. So if we would have the show tomorrow, it wouldn't be enough time. So it's going to be the first Sunday of every month, except for when Saturday is the last day of the previous month. So we're going to have the number show for Stadia next Sunday. Okay. Just so you're aware. So don't look for it tomorrow. It'll be next Sunday. With that said, thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.
Catch y'all later.